The sky is dark gray. There aren't any paper cranes outside the window. The clouds look like twisted, creepy faces. They're looking down at the world with wicked grins. The air feels weirdly cold. A few crows perch on the pale old trees. Their chilling caws ring out now and then. A faint, bloody smell hangs over the asphalt road. It's pretty strong. In a trash can on the side, you can just see some dark red clots. And something that looks like a pig's intestine. It's hanging from the can, swaying gently in the wind. The walls are deathly white. The building gives off a disinfectant smell. It stands tall in front of the 12 people. A sign over the entrance reads Third Hospital. It leaves them almost hopeless. The Third Hospital. No way, not this place. Why does it have to be the Third Hospital? I want my mom. Damn it, we've been picked for the Third Hospital. But I'm just a newbie. Despair spreads fast. There are 12 of them, 8 guys and 4 girls. Everyone looks different, but what they all feel is fear and hopelessness in their eyes. Even Yin Chang isn't any different. He just got home from another long day at work. He's still feeling drained. The horror game has brought despair to the world. Death and terror are unknown, special threats. No matter your age, no matter where you are, everyone has a high chance of being pulled into the horror game. No exceptions. Ghosts, zombies, vampires, all kinds of fiends, monsters that people once only saw in books or movies, are real and alive here. They're everywhere. If you slip up even a little, your fragile life could vanish in a flash. If you want to live, just follow the horror game rules. Finish your game tasks, and you'll get a shot at coming back. At the entrance of the Third Hospital, a nurse walks out in her uniform. She's got curves in all the right places. Her face is gorgeous, but her look is cold. She walks out, almost on autopilot. There's a small notebook in her hand. She seems to be counting people. The moment the 12 see her, they all silently gasp at her beauty. Of course, if only her snow-white nurse outfit weren't stained with those dark red marks, and didn't have that faint bloody smell. Still, she looks just like a supermodel nurse from Silent Hill. She gives off an eerie vibe. Game start. Current dungeon, Third Hospital. Mission details, the Third Hospital from the horror world. It's famous among ghosts. All sorts of illnesses suffered by ghosts can usually be treated here. But lately, there's been a problem inside the hospital. They're crazy short-staffed, so they've had to ask outsiders for help. Dear game participants, please cooperate with your assigned staff roles at the Third Hospital. If you finish 1 week with no negative reviews, you can return to the living world. Note, the busy Third Hospital needs hardworking employees. Talk less, do more, your survival odds will go up. Base rewards for this round will be given out at the end. The game's voice slowly fades at their ears. It gets quieter, but in Yin Chang's mind, a new voice rings out, one that only he can hear. Lucky player Yin Chang, you have a special talent, King's Allure. Any monster in the horror world will instantly feel neutral toward you by default. The situation may still change. As the only lucky player this round, you get an extra skill draw. Spin the bonus wheel now. Yes or no? The voice in his head surprises Yin Chang at first, then turns to joy.
He doesn't care what that King's Allure really is.
Or how odd the talent sounds. He's thinking of all kinds of weird things now. But just getting an extra draw already puts him ahead of everyone else. In survival odds, this horror world has been here for a long time. People have figured out some rules by now, and some ways to stay alive. Some people have used the powers they gained here to do great in the real world too. Talents are the rarest thing, and the most special. Out of 10,000 players, if 2 or 3 wake up a talent, that's already impressive. And it depends a lot on what that talent does. Yin Chang's King's Allure makes it so any monster who sees him won't be hostile at first, just neutral. If word got out, he'd instantly be #1 on the talent charts. The horror world, full of ghosts and evil spirits, and all sorts of twisted creatures, humans with life and energy, are what these creatures hate and resent most. They see people as food, just like people see pigs or cows. No difference at all. And that's something players have learned the hard way, time after time. Spin for an extra talent. Yin Chang doesn't dare wait. He silently says go in his mind. The next second, right before his eyes,
A giant.
wheel appears like a Ferris wheel. It's there and yet not there. Only he can see it turning slowly. Its many zones glow in all kinds of colors. Some are dark, some are bright, and some look like they'll pull your soul right in. The spin of the wheel makes Yin Chang's heartbeat race. So fast he thinks his heart is about to leap right out of his chest. He stares hard at the wheel, full of longing. In his heart, he keeps hoping for the best. But since only Yin Chang can see the wheel, there's a new problem.
His gaze.
Ends up locked on something in front of him. The curvy, mature nurse nearby. At the same time, the ice-cold nurse frowns slightly. She was almost interested in Yin Chang. Just a little. Now her mood drops below freezing. She steps toward him in her high heels. Getting closer and closer, the wheel spins slower and slower, making a sound that only Yin Chang can hear. The sound matches the sharp heels of the nurse. Echoing together, Yin Chang's eyes stay glued to the wheel, burning with desire. The nurse's pale face looks even colder and stiffer around Yin Chang. The other players are all instinctively keeping their distance now. The weird thoughts in their minds cleared some of the fearful atmosphere. A few male participants, secretly, gave Yin Chang a thumbs up in their hearts. What a legend! At the 100% mortality rate third hospital, staring at the nurse with those eyes, she's definitely drop-dead gorgeous and incredibly seductive. But regardless, she's still a lethal ghost. No matter the uniform fetish, or whatever you're into, timing is everything. Someone this blinded by lust is truly beyond help. Bury him. Yin Chang didn't notice. But danger was closing in. He was completely filled with joy, as on the massive Ferris wheel dial. The pointer precisely landed on a tiny, almost invisible area. Congrats to the lucky player. Yin Chang gets the unique talent, Insight Eye. Insight Eye. See through everything in sight, ghosts and humans alike, to gain their hidden info. Everything has unique likes and weaknesses. See them and use them to your advantage. Ranks: Wandering Spirit, Evil Ghost, Spectre, Red Spectre. Blood Spectre, Unspeakable, Calamity God. Human, you seem very interested in me. A smooth, mature female voice pulled Yin Chang back to reality. Right in front of him, less than half a meter away, tall and slender, the seductive nurse held, out of nowhere, an incredibly sharp scalpel between those long pale fingers. It twirled with great skill. Yin Chang felt the air around him, growing colder and colder. Keenly sensing killing intent, he realized exactly what was happening. His gaze had been so intense that the nurse from the third hospital had a major misunderstanding. She didn't seem very patient, seeing Yin Chang still dazed, failing to answer her question. The cold scalpel rose slowly and touched Yin Chang's cheek, facing this for the first time. Cold sweat dripped from his brow. Yet, his mind was clearer than ever. The unique God-tier Insight Eye was activated immediately. Before Yin Chang's eyes, data only he could see, appeared instantly. Lena, third hospital nurse. Race: Spectre. Favor: bloodthirsty. Because of your intense gaze, her slight liking for you is gone. Likes: medical research. Wants to be a respected doctor. Respects highly skilled doctors. Weakness: her long legs are her pride, but also her weakest spot. Different attacks yield different results. Status: currently in a rare female ghost. Once a year special period. Irritable and restless. It's not a major issue. The medical skills of that weird world clearly can't solve it. Solution: spring water with 10-year equinox flowers, simmered until warm and sweet. This cures the symptoms. No time to marvel at the talent or the weird hints within the information, because the ghost nurse's scalpel was already against his cheek. The cold touch made his hair stand on end. Seems you don't want to answer me. Her smooth voice was pleasant, but bone-chilling to the others. Other players closed their eyes, unwilling to see Yin Chang's end. But just then, something unexpected happened. Yin Chang's long hand boldly reached out and grabbed the arm holding the scalpel.
Ice cold.
Silky and smooth. This would feel great in summer. That was his first thought. The nurse was stunned by his sheer audacity. She didn't rip him to shreds immediately. Taking the chance he'd gained, he shifted his grip into a pulse-reading gesture. Beautiful lady, no one could help but be interested in you. I'm no exception. Flattery was his first move. He believed that even a ghost cares about her looks. Sure enough, under the inside eye, Lena's favor level shifted slightly from bloodthirsty to hostile. Even a tiny change confirmed Yin Chang's theory. Flattery works every time, no matter the situation. It's useful everywhere. If those are your last words, then you're ready to die. She remained expressionless, her cold aura spreading, terrifying everyone. They feared her rage would hit them too. No, of course, that's not all. As a professional doctor, I'm more focused on your medical condition. Sorry if my gaze was too intense, causing such a misunderstanding. But please understand, it's my first time in this world, and the symptoms of non-humans shown by such creatures are just too fascinating. Acting like a medical fanatic, he looked at the hospital with obsession. I'm so glad. This hospital was my first stop. It's like paradise to me. Only here can I continue to serve as a dedicated doctor. As he finished, the scalpel remained on his cheek. But Yin Chang noticed. Lena's gaze softened slightly. Her favor hadn't changed, likely because she didn't trust him yet. You're a doctor? Living through the 996 corporate life. He was a natural actor. He answered with confidence. Do you know what happens to liars? No, but I never lie. He looked perfectly honest. Good, Lena smiled, radiating a seductive charm that made one forget she's a ghost. Since you're a doctor and mentioned my condition, why don't you tell me what it is? Better think twice before speaking. If that's wrong, then it doesn't matter if you lied or not. Because the third hospital doesn't want quacks either. Lena's agile tongue slid over his two little sharp fangs. Behind her smile hid a deadly threat. No need to worry about your little issue. I've already diagnosed it by checking your pulse. Yin Chang was full of confidence. His tone lightened as he let go of Lena's cold, smooth wrist. He changed the subject. But, beautiful lady, are you sure you want me to say it here? Lena's expression changed slightly. She knew exactly what was going on with her. No way she didn't know. Around this time every year, that restless feeling just made her extra annoyed. And she couldn't find a way to fix it. Those monster doctors are great at handling missing limbs. Transplants, eyes, hearts, even heads. They're pretty skilled with that stuff. But when it comes to her special situation, it's not just that it's awkward to talk about. Those monster docs don't know much about this either. Wait for me at the hospital entrance. Of course, the players weren't as bold as Yin Chang. They obediently walked toward the entrance, after putting some distance between them, and in making sure the players couldn't hear. Lena signaled Yin Chang with her eyes.
Ahem.
Yin Chang cleared his throat and said seriously, irregular periods, to be accurate. It should be called yearly irregular periods. On Lena's pale, bloodless face, a quick blush flashed for once. She wasn't surprised by Yin Chang's accurate guess. She quickly asked, so, do you know how to treat it? Without realizing it, Lena's tone wasn't so icy anymore, just like the info from the Eye of Insight. He's someone who values medical skills and respects medicine, a nurse with ambition. Yin Chang smiled to himself. In his view, Lena's friendliness changed from hostile to neutral. He was slowly getting a read on Lena's code of conduct. He didn't give the answer right away, based on reports from those who survived the monster games and returned to real life. The monsters aren't just mindless killers. They're not totally unreasonable. If certain conditions are met, humans can make deals with monsters too, and get some special rewards beyond the game tasks. He saw an opportunity for that with Lena. The doctor glanced at the absent-minded Yin Changli. Those fair fingers gently tapped his chest. Sorry, I spaced out for a bit. Yin Chang snapped back to reality. He cursed at himself for being careless. He actually dared to lose focus in front of a red-clothed ghost. After raising his guard,
He spoke again, beautiful lady.
your condition isn't a big deal. I can treat it. Really? Lena sounded obviously shocked and excited. Every year, this special phase bothers him for a while. It's not a huge problem. but it is annoying enough. Hearing there's actually a solution now. He just couldn't hide his joy. Even the way he looked at Yin Chang changed, becoming much friendlier. Miss, treating your problem isn't hard for me. But as a dedicated nurse, you should know. Doctors don't treat people for free, right? Yin Chang looked a bit troubled. He seemed conflicted, especially someone like me. If you want a real cure, I'll have to give you a valuable prescription. Being a doctor isn't easy. The only thing I have of value is my knowledge. I'm sure you understand. I'm the lady. And you don't want to see a doctor like me miss out on advancing my skills because of money or danger, right? By the end, Yin Chang's eyes were shining. He clearly just wanted to charge for the service. But now he looked all righteous, with info from the eye of insight. He already understood the power of information gaps. Lena, when had she ever met someone so smooth talking? She usually dealt with people chopped to pieces, or corpses made into specimens. With his simple mind, he nodded right away. You make sense.
Third.
Doctors at this hospital charge a lot. As long as you guarantee you can cure me, then I can give you something of equal value as payment. No wonder you're such an excellent nurse. I knew you'd understand. After quietly slipping in that compliment, Yin Chang told Lena the solution he figured out with his eye of insight. Told Lena straight up, making it clear he trusted her. And it worked instantly. Lena, who already respected doctors, was now straight up friendly instead of just neutral. Even before testing, if Yin Chang's plan would work, reaching this point shows just how good Shen Zhao is with words. Here you go. This is your reward. Lena pulled out a special card from her nurse's uniform pocket. There was a small clasp on it. She handed it to Yin Chang. He picked it up to look. On it in big bold letters it said, "Specially appointed doctor." And thanks to some rule, his face and name appeared on the card. Is this the hidden identity? According to what other players said, hidden identities might trigger something outside normal quests, like hidden missions, or maybe special hidden ghosts, stuff like that. Yin Chang frowned a little, thinking to himself about the risks and rewards a hidden identity could bring. But judging by Lena's friendliness, the doctor status shouldn't be bad. But hey, as long as he's really a skilled doctor. Otherwise, self-sacrifice would probably be the best option. With his god-level eye of insight, Yin Chang didn't have to worry about that. He confidently pinned the card to his clothes. Yin Chang glanced at the spooky third hospital. He took a deep breath and followed Lena inside. The smell of disinfectant was overwhelming, mixed with some weird odors. You just wanted to cover your nose and mouth. There was a long line at the registration window. Ghosts of all shapes and kinds were watched carefully by a few huge tiger-headed security guards. So the ghosts actually kept order, and no one even tried to cut in line. Back in the staff room, Lena's cold eyes scanned everyone. Only when she looked at Yin Chang did her gaze soften. As outside hires, you don't have enough experience, so you can only do basic jobs in the third hospital? I'll assign your roles now. You three head to the morgue. We've been short on corpse movers lately. That's your job now. The three guys pointed out turned pale. All color drained from their faces. No one expected the very first job they'd get was to go to the morgue at the third hospital and move corpses. In this horror world packed with ghosts, anyone can guess. That place must be super dangerous. Even so, filled with despair, the three guys showed no sign of resisting at all. Now that the horror game is real, everyone knows a few basics. Nobody's going to make stupid mistakes, like defying ghosts when you're powerless. As for your assignments, you four will be tongue and nursing, mostly in Ward 1. Lena pointed at the four female players.
Hearing.
They weren't being sent to some weird place. The four women clearly let out a sigh of relief, but they weren't happy either. After all, this is the third hospital with a 100% death rate. It hung over their heads like a dark cloud. The rest of you will handle cleaning. As a famous hospital, our hygiene standards are super strict. With just a few words, Lena had finished handing out jobs. Then she opened a locker in the staff room and took out the matching uniforms and threw them in front of everyone. She also tossed out a third hospital operation manual. When it came to Yin Chang, Lena handed him a crisp, new white coat herself, right to his hands. Even threw in a stethoscope he really didn't need. Thanks, Yin Chang replied with a smile. He took the coat seriously and put it on carefully, then pinned his ID card right on the pocket. Such a simple moment, but the other players were totally stunned. No one knew what Yin Chang and that wickedly pretty ghost nurse had talked about to earn such special treatment. Their eyes practically sparkled with envy and jealousy. Among the male players, one guy with really delicate, pretty features, really soft and feminine, kind of like Kunkin, looked at Yin Chang's sharp, handsome face, then at the totally elegant, queen-like ghost nurse. And then he touched his own smooth, handsome puppy face, thinking back to Yin Chang using the patient's condition as an excuse for the nurse to send everyone else away. A flash of insight suddenly struck him. So that was the truth. A reckless idea instantly began to spiral out of control, especially since he was about to enter the morgue. Such a dangerous place. The sleepy man finally couldn't hold it in. He weakly raised his hand. The weakling's voice followed. Excuse me. Lena frowned and looked at him, already irritable from her irregular cycle. She spoke coldly. You'd better have something useful to say. Otherwise, her attitude was beyond indifferent, completely different from how she treated Yin Chang. This only made the sleepy man more certain of his guess. Didn't she treat Yin Chang with the same murderous intent at first? Kun? The man looked around, then acted shy and said, Beautiful lady, are you sure you want to say this in front of everyone? Wow, just wow. I wouldn't have known if I hadn't looked. But looking gave me a shock. Sai's behavior surprised Yin Chang at first. He thought the guy actually had some skill. He was about to reveal, but the eye of insight showed this info. Average guy, Tsai Shaokun. Race, human. Favorability, friendly. Though he's a bit jealous of you. For some reason, he seems to still like you. Strength, total weakling. A cat could probably beat him in a fight. Preferences, men, top or bottom. He ultimately chose to be the bottom. Weakness, he's a weakling, so everywhere. Status, though he's not into women. Seeing Lena's favor toward you. He seems to think that she has a unique preference. That's why she treats you so well. So, for his own survival,
He decided to sacrifice his charms.
he's dead. Prepare for his funeral. Yin Chang silently moved away from Sai. He broke into a cold sweat. A boy lover right by my side. The red ghost Lena walked forward slowly. Her long fingers twirled a sharp scalpel. On her overly pale face, a charming smile appeared, whatever the man intended to say. Lena could sense his weird gaze. The next moment slash. It all happened in a split second. The hearts of everyone there turned to ice. Their hair stood on end. This is the cruelty of the thriller game. A living life was bloodily dismembered before them. Fear seeped into their marrow, yet they could do nothing.
Even
Yin Chang, with his dual talents, deeply realized his own fragility. His vigilance against ghosts rose to an all-time high. Only because Lena gave him a chance to speak was he able to turn things around and maximize the eye of insight. But what if a ghost gives you no chance?
his mind became crystal clear.
Specially appointed physician doesn't fully guarantee safety. That status, if I meet an unreasonable ghost who just wants to kill, I have no power to resist. Not all ghosts follow hospital rules. I can't bet my life on that. I must think of a way to guarantee my own safety. Yin Chang's thoughts raced like lightning. He thought rapidly about how to increase his survival rate to a near-perfect level. As for sympathizing with others, or helping them, sorry, in this horror world, sympathy is a luxury. Many players have died for it. Unless I have absolute power, I won't even consider it. Suddenly, Yin Chang's gaze fell back onto the nurse, Lena. A plan formed in his mind, using her power. Isn't this red ghost the best choice? Put on your uniforms. Read the temporary staff manual carefully. You have 20 minutes left. Lena elegantly tucked away her scalpel. Then her eyes landed on Yin Chang. You, come with me. Yin Chang followed immediately, under the jealous stares of the players. He left the waiting room. In a private consultation room, Yin Chang sat in the office chair, looking quite relaxed. Along the way, Lena explained his duties. Then she rushed off to get her medicine. Clearly, her cycle issues were to her quite a bother. From Lena's words, Yin Chang also learned that, as a specially appointed physician, he might not be that busy. He might even be quite idle. It's not that there are few patients, but because he's human, and his status as specially appointed, the ghosts don't really trust him. He was happy to have the peace. It gave him time to think about why the third hospital has never had a single survivor. While Lena was getting medicine, briefly leaving him alone, at the entrance of the hospital, an elegant figure stepped off a black cloud and walked slowly into the front gate. She's here again, the Rose Earl. Has his problem still not been solved? Looks like the third hospital is losing another doctor. Don't say that out loud. Do you want to die? A group of pig-headed monsters, zombies and ghouls waiting in line, looked at the elegant figure. With sheer awe, he walked at a steady pace, his seductive posture oozing charm. Yet the ugly ghost stayed far away. The Rose Earl, a celebrity of the third hospital. He comes here for treatment periodically. No one knows what's wrong with him. They only know that every time the Rose Earl visits, not a single doctor who treats him ever makes it out alive. Yet the hospital can do nothing about him. This means that every time this doctor-slaying Rose Earl arrives, the hospital goes into a brief paralysis. No doctor wants to touch this deadly assignment. In the hospital conference room, dozens of doctors who got the news and hid here looked as miserable as if they were constipated. Damn it, what disease does he have? Why does he keep coming back? A werewolf doctor was agitated, deep unease in his eyes. A green, scar-covered alchemical cyborg added, "My mentor, Dr. Mundo, died at the hands of the Rose Earl. I don't want to follow in his footsteps. Where are the director and the dean? If this continues, the Rose Earl will ruin this hospital. Chief, at this rate, there's going to be a major problem. A hospital with no doctors will be a laughingstock." The other doctors chimed in with complaints. Leaning against the desk with arms crossed, handsome, looking just like a human, the chief gently raised his hand, signaling them to be quiet. Once the room was silent, the chief pushed up his black-rimmed glasses. He smiled. Didn't some newcomers arrive? One of them seems to have talent. He got Lena's approval and became a specially appointed physician. A sinister grin tugged at his lips. In that case, let him handle the Rose Earl. In the consultation room, Yin Chang is watching the heat carefully, personally making medicine for the nurse Lena, still muttering to himself. No wonder this hospital was opened by ghosts. Inside the consultation room, there's all kinds of weird stuff here. Even a gas burner is nothing special. I have the info from my inside eye. Brewing medicine is really simple. It's not hard to do at all. Getting closer to Lena is the only leverage Yin Chang can think of. A red-clothed ghost is pretty strong in this scary world. Actually, it's really impressive. While making the medicine, Yin Chang glances to the side. Lena, the nurse with a strong vibe, is sitting carelessly on the desk, her long, curvy legs wrapped in blood-stained white stockings, swinging gently. She gives off a unique charm. As a powerful red-clothed ghost, of course Lena notices Yin Chang staring, but she doesn't mind at all. She even feels kind of happy. If someone admires you, it just proves you have charm, right? All Lena ever sees is a bunch of ghosts with zero taste. And those ghosts always studying weird stuff. All doctors. It's really rare for a skilled doctor to also know how to appreciate her charm. Of course she gets a bit proud. But if Yin Chang's prescription doesn't work, then that's a whole different story. Lena's scalpel will cut him up instantly. The medicine's ready, Miss Beautiful Lena. Yin Chang hands the prepared medicine to Lena. She takes it. Doesn't even care if it's hot. Not worried about Yin Chang tampering with it. Immediately swallows it down. Lena suddenly feels her usually cold, lifeless, ghostly body is now warmed from the inside. It feels like soaking in a hot spring. Unbelievable comfort she's never had. That irritability from her condition just drifts away. Miracle cure. It worked crazy well. Yin Chang, your medicine is amazing. It's like magic. A problem Lena had for years was fixed by Yin Chang's simple prescription. The nurse ghost jumps up in excitement and gives Yin Chang a big hug, seeing Lena's friendliness turning over. Just to be close. Somewhere inside her, she's getting odd thoughts.
If this keeps going,
With Lena, a ghost girl with natural AC isn't so bad. Once he thinks that, Yin Chang shakes himself out of it. Meanwhile, in the hospital hallway, Count Rose walks by gracefully. Every ghost who sees him instinctively presses against the wall, hardly dares to breathe. Only after he leaves, they group up and gossip with weird looks. A crisp knocking at the door interrupts the room's growing tension. Yin Chang, a bit unwilling, slowly lets go of Lena's embrace. Lena just smiles and stands to the side, waiting like his assistant. Come in, Count Rose enters. A man and a female ghost stare at Count Rose completely differently. Yin Chang is just a bit surprised. Didn't expect he'd get patience so soon. He also notices the woman ghost in front of him is as attractive as Lena, but adds something different. She's got elegance and nobility. White stockings are cute, black ones are sexy, and beige ones, well, those are for peppers. Shaking out these random thoughts, Yin Chang puts on a professional smile. Ma'am, are you here to see a doctor? I heard from your director that a human doctor came to the third hospital, so I came to take a look. Count Rose sits down elegantly. Her flawless features naturally glow with nobility. But right then, Yin Chang was quiet at first. Lena, standing behind him, quickly grabs his arm as he reaches out for the pulse. What's wrong? Yin Chang senses something's up. He turns to ask. Lena just shakes her head at him, then looks to Count Rose. Her voice low. Madam Rose, please pick another doctor. He's just a special hire. His skills are limited. He can't help you. From Lena's tone, Yin Chang senses a warning. He feels a little moved by her concern. And at that moment, he uses the insight eye to check out the elegant and charming Count Rose. Vampire Count Rose, race, vampire friendliness, hostile. He's in a rotten mood. Even with the king's charm, you don't appeal to him. Strength level, blood-robed ghost, scarier than a red-clothed one. Likes blood, top favorite among vampires. No question, stays noble and elegant. But loving blood is also his fatal flaw. Vampires show this best. Current state. Anorexia tortures him non-stop. He's been to hospital after hospital, doctor after doctor, but nothing helped. To protect his so-called perfect title, he hides his secret. So he's killed one replacement after another. You with king's charm. Your blood may be dangerously tempting for him. Proceed with caution. The inside eye's info makes Yin Chang draw a sharp breath. His scalp tingles. He even gets goosebumps. All over. This king's charm trait actually makes his blood deadly tempting to the vampire. And seriously, a vampire with anorexia? Really? Yin Chang is seriously losing it. Count Rose's illness sounds simple, but it's as hard as it gets. Blood is a real meal for vampires. Anorexia must be pure torture. No doubt about that. But the real issue is Count Rose is a level above red-robed ghosts. A whole tier above Lena. If he turns hostile, even if Lena wants to help, she wouldn't stand a chance. Now what? If he doesn't treat, he'll die for sure. Count Rose, obviously, has suffered from anorexia a long time. That's why he looks so elegant. Actually, they're ready to kill anyone. If you found out the secret of my blood, you might just drain me dry right here. Yin Chang started feeling anxious. A big V-shape showed on his forehead. Girl, you're just a nurse. How can you be so sure? This doctor can't treat me? The Countess Rose spoke with a voice like jade beads dropping. It was crisp but a bit sweet. There was a graceful, noble smile on her lips. But those crimson eyes, when they landed on Lena, an invisible pressure, made Lena's already pale, porcelain-like face look even whiter. Blood red and red robes, just one word apart. But a world of difference. Still, Lena didn't back down. Even under huge pressure, she held tightly onto Yin Chang's arm. Her touch was ice cold. Yet it made Yin Chang's heart grow warm. In a world ruled by horror games, human nature can't stand any trust or tests anymore. A horror world where friendly bonds were just built. The ghosts could help him, to this degree, which was already hard enough, while feeling a bit warmed inside. Yin Chang's anxious thoughts instantly calmed down. With his other hand, he gently rested it on Lena's delicate hand gripping his arm, and gave it a gentle squeeze. That tiny action made Lena's eyes turn to Yin Chang's face. He simply smiled warmly. That self-assured look seemed to tell Lena something. A faint blush flashed over her delicate features. She quietly withdrew her hand and stood quietly to the side again. Interesting. The Countess Rose's beautiful eyes sparkled. She sized them up with interest. One human, one ghost, both here because of the horror game. Humans being dragged into the horror world is nothing new anymore. But someone like Yin Chang, who could exist among ghosts as a human, and even seem to befriend the specters of the horror world, was a first for her. In Countess Rose's eyes, humans are frail, naturally scared of and hostile to ghosts. Because most ghosts see humans as nothing but food. Mutual hostility and fear are common. At best, they'd just stay far away. But Yin Chang was different. He could even make friends with ghosts, and got their trust too. He's really one of a kind. Human, aren't you scared of me? Out of curiosity and interest, Countess Rose put her health aside for now, and just kept checking Yin Chang out, like she wanted to see right through him. Afraid? Yin Chang's mind was unusually clear. He replied sincerely, but I don't see fear in your eyes. That's because I know that a true noble always keeps their grace and poise. Even when they're furious, they'll still carry themselves perfectly. Besides, I'm here to treat you, aren't I? With the info the insightful eye gives, Yin Chang could easily say the right thing to anyone. Say what ghosts want to hear to ghosts. Maybe it's flattery, but if it's to survive, who cares about a little flattery? You really have a sweet mouth. I'm starting to like you. Being appreciated by a graceful noble lady is my honor. All right, back to business. One moment, Countess Rose was all smiles. The next, she was cold and unapproachable again. Change of face as fast as flipping a page. Classic noble move. Even though I do like your sweet talk. If you can cure me. The Countess's strange eyes gave off a faint, dangerous gleam. She didn't finish her words, but Yin Chang already felt a sense of death. Even if it was upsetting, there's nothing he could do. That's just how the horror world is. Human pride and edges get ground away here. Survival is the only rule. Anything else, maybe I'm not good at it. But if you mean medicine? Yin Chang's face filled with confidence. I may just be a special consultant doctor, but I can honestly say, no one in the entire third hospital has better medical skills than me. As soon as he said that, Lena's eyes shone even brighter from the side. Even Countess Rose's look at her got harder to read. Confidence is good, but too much is not. You get that, right, kid? Sorry, but if telling the truth makes me seem arrogant, then all I'll say is, the doctors here are trash compared to me. Yin Chang now showed a sharp arrogance, totally unlike his former caution. Right now, he needed to make his healer's image absolutely clear, and take advantage of Countess Rose's power to keep himself solid as a rock in the third hospital, with no more risk of dying. That's good. I like your confidence. Countess Rose didn't get offended at Yin Chang's pride. In fact, she smiled again. Let's get started. I hope your confidence matches your skills. Show me your hand. Yin Chang didn't say more, deciding to show it with action. Yeah, you gotta put on a little act. Figuring out someone's illness at a glance is a bit too much. Countess Rose, being sharp, clearly realized this. She took off her long leather gloves and handed her flawless hand to Yin Chang. Yin Chang didn't hesitate to set 2 fingers on her wrist. He didn't use much force, but it felt amazing. Her skin was like cream, with a soft warmth Lena didn't have. Her pulse? He couldn't tell a thing. Getting too into this doctor thing, Yin Chang almost forgot he knew nothing about medicine. He steadied himself and took his hand back. He frowned on purpose. Countess Rose noticed, her gaze turning curious. She wanted to know if this human she actually liked could really diagnose her illness just by checking her pulse. Ma'am, I figured out your illness. I believe You've suffered from it for quite a while. You actually diagnosed it? A light started brightening in Countess Rose's eyes. Yin Chang could see the urgency in them. Anorexia, right? Right as Yin Chang said it. A terrifying killing intent filled the consultation room. A bloody glow covered the whole place. Countess Rose stayed seated, revealing the domain that only truly powerful bloody ghosts control. Her power instantly filled the room. Beneath the bloody robes, stepping in meant certain death. A sudden turn of events, still within Yin Chang's expectations. Based on what the Eye of Insight revealed, Count Rose really cares about his noble reputation. Anorexia is a big deal for a vampire. It means a lot, obviously. If word got out to other vampires, he'd become a total joke, the kind nailed to the pillar of shame. A vampire who's not into blood anymore. What, is he switching to pure milk now? But honestly, Yin Chang knows. Count Rose doesn't actually hate blood. Looking at his favorites section, blood is still his top pick. Most likely. He's just super picky about the quality of blood. So picky, it's off the charts. That's what caused his anorexia. I'm starting to not like you much. It's rude for a kid to spill a noble secret. Not a polite move at all. Count Rose's strange eyes are cold and full of killing intent. Red threads, like living things, spread out from behind him, lightly brushing against Yin Chang's cheek. It tickles but also feels like death. So close behind Yin Chang, Lena struggles to move. Her nurse outfit, shaping her great figure, is completely soaked in red. Her scalpel glints, looking vicious. Behind Lena, a pair of gray wings quietly open up. Her eyes are turning cold and gray. Count Rose sees this and frowns a little. He looks at Lena's gray wings, eyes showing some surprise. Little ghost girl, don't make a move. Your big guy behind you might be annoying, but not enough for me to be afraid. Let him go. Lena's voice is icy cold. She fights the heavy pressure, but still refuses to give up. Why him? Sure, I get it. A ghost might protect a human for some reason, but he can't get how Lena would go this far for a human. Because he cured my long-standing illness. And because he's a good doctor. Lena answers, voice cold as ice. A shy thought pops into her head. She just can't bring herself to say it. After all, having a ghost girl say out loud that Yin Chang is her friend is just way more complicated than it sounds. Not far from Yin Chang's clinic. In another consultation room, the director of Third Hospital and other doctors are together. On their faces, a mix of hope and nervousness shows. They hope Count Rose will finish off that human doctor and just leave already. But they're tense, afraid Count Rose might get mad all over again if the cure fails and turn on them, dragging them into trouble. The human and Lena just vanished, probably swallowed by Count Rose's bloody domain. Suddenly, the director speaks up in a low voice. The other doctors get serious. That kid's dead for sure. Even our Third Hospital can't handle this. What's that young guy supposed to do? Let's just hope after Count Rose kills him, his anger cools down, and he doesn't come after us. Who knows how many times Count Rose has visited us. Yet we still can't fix his problem. We don't even dare ask what his illness even is. And the doctors who knew are already dead. If we keep failing to cure him, no one knows what a vampire doctor might do. Once he snaps, the bespectacled director, his eyes shine behind his glasses, says only one word, then goes quiet, and the room falls completely silent. In the hallway, all kinds of ghosts keep some distance from the hidden clinic, but still stare, waiting expectantly, almost like they're waiting to see what'll happen. Count Rose's illness has been the talk of Third Hospital for years. No doctor has cured it yet, naturally. It's become a hot topic among the ghosts. Some gutsy ghosts have even started betting secretly, getting others to place bets, and making a killing. Many wonder just what weird illness Count Rose has, for it to last so long and still not be cured. Some sneaky folks, like Count Rose's shameless bestie, go all out, trying to dig up his medical info. Lena, trust me. I never said I can't cure Count Rose. Inside the bloody domain, Yin Chang, his hand stiff, grabs Lena. The chill on her is even stronger now. She can't help but shiver. Frost is forming on her hands. As soon as he said that, The tense atmosphere in the room instantly eased up a bit. A flicker of surprise passes in Count Rose's eyes. Yin Chang's confidence makes him slightly doubt the guy, but deep down, he desperately hopes someone can cure his anorexia. Can you really cure me? Of course, I wouldn't risk my life messing around. You only live once, and I don't want to waste mine. Yin Chang's confident tone makes Count Rose more open-minded. He doubts a little less. Go ahead, tell me. Count Rose calms down. The blood threads on Yin Chang's face pull back and disappear. It's simple. Yin Chang turns and gives Lena a small smile. Mind if I borrow your scalpel? Lena looks confused, but she still nods. Taking the scalpel, Yin Chang looks sadly at his finger and sighs to himself. Buddha once fed eagles with his flesh. Now I'm sacrificing myself. All for a vampire, just trying to stay alive. What else can I do? The scalpel is way sharper than Yin Chang expected. Just a light cut. Blood instantly flows from his finger. Humans can't smell it. But for ghosts, it's super tempting. Count Rose's eyes instantly light up. And it's not just him. Even Lena, who's not a vampire, feels a hint of desire. As the blood's about to drop from his finger onto the table, something neither Yin Chang nor Lena expected happens. He thought about it. His own blood would attract Count Rose a lot, but didn't realize how much. It's seriously off the charts. Count Rose never loses his elegance. Even killing, he does it with style. She just pulled his finger over to her and put it straight into her mouth. On the Earl of Rose's pale face, her expression changed instantly. The dull look in her eyes was gone. Right now, Yin Chang felt something he couldn't describe.
He felt the vampire's natural power to paralyze their prey.
It gave him a feeling he'd never had before. So much that he didn't even realize he was growing weaker.
He could hardly keep his eyes open, like he was exhausted.
His face turned pale fast, almost as pale as Lena's. Lena snapped out of it. She gasped in shock. And that finally woke Kageo up from his trance.
Damn.
His voice went hoarse and weak. Stop, please, stop. If you keep drinking, I'm a goner. Yin Chang couldn't hold on anymore. He thought vampires would be attractive, but he didn't expect this kind of pull.
But him.
Just a human. What could he possibly do against a vampire earl at the blood coat level? Even with Lena trying to help him, there was nothing they could do. Yin Chang felt the V on his forehead was quickly becoming a death mark. Suddenly, an idea popped into his head. He came up with something fast. With everything he had left, he shouted hoarsely, "Ma'am!" After that shout, you get full each meal. You know what I mean, right? Right after he said that, Count Rose's greedy, satisfied eyes finally changed back, became clear again. Her face was as white as paper, and her body felt possessed, like she couldn't even move a muscle. It was creepy and left him feeling all sorts of ways.
He wanted to pull his finger back,
but couldn't quite let go. That inner struggle was killing him. Luckily, the Earl was snapped out of it by what Yin Chang said, and stopped drinking her blood. She just held his finger in her mouth, like she was savoring the taste. Her stunningly beautiful face lost its flush little by little, and finally, the Earl reluctantly let go of his finger. Even the subtle hint of seduction she gave off still made the exhausted Yin Chang lift himself up a little. Yeah, he wasn't a saint, or incompetent, for that matter. If he could see Count Rose looking like that, and feel nothing at all, then Yin Chang would have to wonder if he had the same issue as Kun, the guy who died. That'd be really bad. Little one, I really am starting to like you more and more. Come back to the castle with me. I promise to keep you well-fed and happy. But her crimson, mesmerizing gaze sent shivers down Yin Chang's spine. Are you kidding me? If he was brought to the vampire castle, he'd just be a human blood bank. Just imagining that miserable ending made Yin Chang's face turn somber. Ma'am, is this really how you treat the doctor? Who can cure your illness? Count Rose, you're going too far. Lena's eyes showed anger too. He couldn't let the doctor he respected be treated that way. In a flash, the wings behind him spread wide, and an invisible force lifted him into the air. Inside the blood-red domain, a strange power started overflowing from Lena's body. Everything her power touched like tables, chairs, and paper, began to rot before their eyes. Even the bloody color of the realm seemed to fade slowly. Yin Chang was stunned. He never thought that Lena, a red cloak-level ghost, could really affect the Earl's domain. It's well known even in the human world. The power gap between each level of ghost is huge. And yet she could do this. There's only one explanation. She's a special ghost, the kind with two sides to their identity. After the scary game began, humans weren't totally helpless. Some veteran players have already figured out a lot about this creepy world. Special ghosts are one type, one body, two souls. Or someone with both a fake and true self. Even something that seems dead but turns into a terrifying ghost. All count as special types. No question about it. Special ghosts in this world are really rare. They're either super strong or have weird powers. Like Lena. She probably has a rare ability as a special ghost. Looks like my insight eye isn't all-powerful. Lena's hidden self. That's something I just can't figure out. Yin Chang was on high alert. He just got a whole new idea of how dangerous this world is. And he thinks even more now. The reason he can't see Lena's true identity is just because he's too weak. The insight eye is supposed to be God tier and unique. So it can't be that simple.
He put those complex thoughts aside.
Looking at Lena again, he tried using his insight eye once more. This time, the feedback was a little different from before. Third hospital nurse, Lena, race, Li Xiang, angel of death, an incredibly rare special ghost, has the power to bring death and decay to the world. Trust, high, can gain the trust of ghosts. That's really valuable. Treasure it. Magnetic field, quasi-blood coat level, extremely unstable. Too much power is always hard to control, especially when you're still not strong enough. Likes to study medicine. Wants to become a great doctor like Kageo. A master healer. Changed because of someone. 4 weaknesses. Legs, wings of death. They might bring her own death too. Now, angry. He can't watch his respected doctor suffer. And do nothing. Maybe there's another reason too. The moment he saw all that, Yin Chang didn't marvel at how powerful Lena's hidden self was. Instead, he truly felt Lena cared about him. Even as a red cloak, he still can't control the angel's power. But he's willing to use it for her, even if it means hurting himself.
He fought against the Earl of Rose anyway.
Even when he shouldn't have. Even knowing he probably wouldn't win. Sometimes it's not about being dumb, but about being pure. At this moment, Yin Chang suddenly understood something. In this horror game filled with death, survivors still turn on each other. Deceiving and using each other is just too normal. So much so that, in the game, it's almost impossible for players to build trust. When he first entered the horror world, he didn't interact much with others like him. Instead, it was with a beautiful female ghost that he built a trust. That deep-seated fear that monsters bring was slowly fading away. Instead, it felt like a new world was opening up. Even monsters can become friends. And Coco too. At least with Lena. After trust was built, Yin Chang could feel. As long as he didn't do anything stupid, the other side really thought of him as a reliable friend. He didn't have that kind of complex human mind. Trust was simply trust. So for this human friend Yin Chang, he could face someone a level above him. The pressure from Count Rose to stand up for someone he didn't even like. He could ruthlessly kill a human man, like crushing an ant. Simple and pure. Lena, trust me. Let me handle this, okay? Yin Chang's calm gaze seemed almost magical. He looked at Lena, gentle as ever. His simple words quickly calmed him down. That simple, okay, made Yin Chang feel that Lena's trust in him grew even deeper. As expected, with the eye of insight, Lena's affection for him had risen from trust to true openness. Yin Chang smiled slightly. His small act of healing Lena and his fake doctor identity won Lena's favor, even going from friendliness up to trust. That's why Lena would go out of her way to protect him. In the same way, Yin Chang didn't want to see Lena get hurt, and stopping her let Lena feel his care. So her trust grew even more, simple and pure. Inside the clinic, the atmosphere is still tense. Lena did as Yin Chang said, and pulled back her surging power. But the way she looked at the countess was still full of suspicion. As for Countess Rose, she looked curiously. at both Lena and Yin Chang, with a playful smirk on her face. You seem to have misunderstood me as an elegant noble, keeping a benefactor as a blood bag. That's not something a true noble would ever do. But Countess Rose paused, her scarlet eyes glowing enchantingly. Mr. Doctor, how do you plan to treat my condition? A lethal question, one wrong answer, and he's dead. His blood was a fatal temptation for the Countess. She wasn't being elegant at all. When she shoved his finger in her mouth, her psychological anorexia vanished. The moment she tasted his blood, the cure is easy, but Yin Chang's problem now is how to manage the treatment in stages, rather than being drained dry on the spot. Or if she hates his plan, she might still drag him to her castle to keep him as a pet. Well, even though she said she wouldn't treat him like a blood bag, losing his freedom is the last thing he wants. After thinking for a moment, Yin Chang spoke his prepared lines. Lady Rose, it's not that you have anorexia. It's more that your noble status gave you an extremely picky palate. Do you mind me saying that? Go on. Her expression shifted slightly, like a secret had been exposed. My blood is clearly very attractive to you. You won't deny that, right? Of course not, she replied without hesitation. Good. Yin Chang was pale, but he kept a smile on his face. In my homeland, we say rarity increases value. What do you think of that? Rarity increases value. An interesting summary. It's true most of the time, even with the same food. If you eat it every day, even if it's a delicacy, you'll eventually get sick of it, right? Countess Rose heard this and smiled charmingly. Little guy, after all this rambling, you just want me to drink sparingly, to give yourself time to grow, and then find a way to escape. Number. Yin Chang shook his head, looking her honestly in the eyes. A powerhouse of blood-clad ghost rank, with a signature domain. In this entire horror world, you're at the top of the food chain, not to mention the vampires behind you. I'm just an unlucky guy, chosen by the horror game, and pulled into this bizarre world.
Luckily,
I met a lady as beautiful as Lena, who gave me a safe identity. Yin Chang used his silver tongue, negotiating with the Countess, while low-key flattering Lena. He's a master of social tactics. I'll skip the fluff. I don't have the strength to survive in this world alone. If I can lean on someone powerful, and I only have to give some non-lethal blood, then why not? As for escaping, Yin Chang gave a bitter smile. Countess, do you know how much other players would envy my situation right now? To live or to die? That is the question. I don't know how you ghosts view such a choice, but I choose to live, even if I must live humbly. Hope only exists if you're alive. Even if it's just a spark in the dark, I'll still chase it. The Countess looked moved. Lena's hand, at some point, gently took hold of Yin Chang's. They felt the sincerity in his words, and his heartfelt desire for life. Sorry, I got a bit sentimental. Back to the point. Yin Chang turned serious. From another perspective, I'm a doctor. Countess, you are my patient. You pay the medical fees, and I take responsibility for the cure. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. If I can get even a small favor from someone like you, it would benefit a rookie player immensely, wouldn't it? Little guy, you're smart and honest enough. Countess Rose's gaze toward him
had shifted.
She saw in him a resilience most people lack, a unique kind of tenacity. This tenacity is exactly what's needed to survive the horror game. So, are you willing to try? Will you follow my advice and use my medical plan? After saying all that and showing such raw emotion, he didn't want his breath wasted. But Countess Rose's attitude was still the core of the issue. Fine, just those two simple words made Yin Chang sigh in relief. He could even feel Lena holding his arm, relaxing quite a bit, but Countess Rose's tone shifted. But what? Your potential is excellent. You won the trust of a death angel, and you have a survival instinct and resilience. So, saying this, Countess Rose paused deliberately. She licked her lips with her tongue. In her eerie scarlet eyes, a strange light flickered within the blood domain. She vanished in an instant. Yin Chang and Lena couldn't even react. The true power of a blood-clad ghost. even with Lena's death angel status. It was of no use. Already lightheaded from blood loss, Yin Chang felt numb and dazed. His senses were already dull. He only noticed a shapely figure behind him, pressed tight against his back. A vampire's body isn't cold like mist. It's actually quite supple. In the next moment, Yin Chang felt a faint warmth on his neck. He figured the countess had bitten him again. It's just because vampires have special traits. Even after being bitten, as a human he didn't feel any pain. Right before he passed out, his last bit of consciousness vaguely noticed. Something new appeared inside him. It was silently changing his body.
Then
He just fell asleep right there at the table. Inside the blood-red domain, Lena looked at Count Rose, confused. His usually rosy face looked a bit pale right now. Why? Count Rose still hasn't given his first embrace to anyone. Why did you pick him? Lena didn't even know why she asked that. And as she spoke, she felt something strange inside. You can think of it as an investment. Or, this is my reward for Dr. Yin. Giving the embrace drained him a bit. But Count Rose still smiled in satisfaction. He looked at Yin Chang, completely satisfied. The second half about investment, Lena could understand. But the first part just seemed odd. With Count Rose's power, does he really need to invest in a human? Even though Lena thought Yin Chang was a great doctor, with amazing skills, he even solved Count Rose's problem. But still, Yin Chang is just a regular, fragile human. For Count Rose to use precious pureblood and the embrace on a human, it was hard for Lena to accept. Let's just call it my intuition. I just have a feeling this cute little guy might grow into a big, strong tree someday. Maybe then I'll even get to enjoy its shade. That sounds pretty nice. Saying that, he traced a glowing red finger into the air, lightly drawing a small vampire-only magic circle. It floated over to Yin Chang's arm and finally marked his skin, turning into a stamp-sized pattern. After doing that small gesture, Count Rose looked at Lena and reminded her, let him know when he wakes up. Through that mark on his arm, he can use it to send things to me. As a noble, I'm willing to follow the doctor's instructions. However long the treatment takes, let him handle it. That's all set. And remember, don't tell anyone what happened today. All right. Also tell him, if one round of medicine doesn't feel enough to me. Watching Count Rose leave with his domain, Lena was stunned for a second. She didn't expect the one who killed several doctors and scared other monsters away, even someone she feared, would act like this. The domain disappeared. Back in the consultation room, the director, wearing glasses, looked totally normal, but his eyes flashed gold. All the other doctors looked a little nervous too. They sighed in relief, all feeling lucky that Lena brought in a special doctor. That's the only reason. One unlucky person among them avoided disaster. As for actually curing Count Rose, well, they honestly never thought about that. Suddenly, the director grunted, his face darkening. Did you guys hear Count Rose laugh? Huh? The burly werewolf doctor paused, his face going stiff instantly. I think I did. But before he finished, the door exploded in a blood-red blast, blowing it to bits. Poof! The director looked like he'd eaten a lemon, and the group of doctors he led, as soon as they saw the figure outside, all jumped behind him in perfect sync. Go! Making him face Count Rose alone. Going up alone against someone that's scary. The new doctor did well. I'm really impressed. Nobody expected Count Rose himself would drop in just to say those words, then leave. After a long pause, the room of doctors finally calmed down. Their eyes all turned to disbelief, silently saying, how did that human doctor pull it off? Nobody noticed. Deep in the director's eyes flashed a darkness he'd never shown before. Outside the hospital doors, a graceful lady departed in the distance. Compared with what happened outside the consultation room, and with so many monsters watching. After Count Rose left, the whole hospital was buzzing. Unbelievable! Count Rose actually didn't kill that human doctor. No way, his mysterious illness was cured by a human. Whoa, seriously. Oh shit. I bet everything on Dice Ghost over this. Fuck! I'm gonna tear that human apart. Classic. The toxic gambler goes nuts stage. LOL, kill that human. The one Count Rose complimented. You guys seriously think it's just a simple compliment? Seriously? Hold on. If even Count Rose was cured by that human, doesn't that mean the guy is actually really good? Watson, you found the key point. Some ghosts were thrilled, some worried. As for Count Rose, most of the monsters just saw it as gossip. But for those who actually needed treatment, it was a whole other story. Each had some problem, big or small. Even the hospital doctors couldn't always truly solve their issues. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep coming back. Suddenly, the hospital got quieter again. They glanced at each other, eyes heating up. Even the chainsaw maniac, who lost everything gambling on Yin Chang, fell silent. He even seized the chance while everyone was distracted to sneak toward Yin Chang's room. He had issues no one else could fix too. With the human expert in, Yin Chang's room didn't need appointments. So outside the room, a crowd of desperate monsters gathered, all fighting for a shot to be first. In the corner, several humans, with broken arms and legs, stood frozen, mouths forming a perfect O. Even the pain from their injuries was buried by shock and awe. They couldn't believe that even as humans, the gap could be this huge, so big. They could only carefully watch over the patients in Ward 1, terrified to make even a tiny mistake. But in the end, still got caught with minor mistakes, and monsters tore off parts of their bodies. But Yin Chang, because he cured a powerful monster, instantly became the hottest figure in the whole hospital. Even monsters liked him now, so he didn't have to worry about safety at all. The huge difference made them jealous and a bit envious too. A spacious hallway was packed because all the ghosts were scrambling to get ahead. Yin Chang, still asleep, had no idea that right outside his consultation room, a long line was already forming. Luckily, Lena was there as his caring assistant, keeping things under control for him. Meanwhile, in another consultation room filled with over a dozen ghost doctors, the director's face was dark and unpredictable. Hidden in his eyes was a killing intent no one could sense.
His plan.
Absolutely couldn't be messed up by any surprises. Yet, somehow, that damn human kid ended up catching the attention of the Rose Count, a terrifying being of the blood robe specter rank. Even as the director of this third hospital, he was nothing but an ant in her eyes. Damn it, damn it. Why can't a mere human just go die in peace? The director roared like mad inside, while still keeping a calm appearance. Director, what do we do now? That human kid just happened to catch the Rose Count's favor. Should we show a little kindness? Maybe give a nod to the Count? Even though they're totally jealous of the Shadow City. So what can they do about it? Might as well be realistic. Let's find a way through the Shadow City. Try to please the Rose Count on the side. We're talking about a blood robe specter here. Even a random throwaway from them would be plenty for guys like us, who aren't even red robe level yet. We'd benefit so much from it. So let's show some goodwill. After being tricked, the director's eyes turned super dark, and his tone got extra meaningful. Yeah, we're talking about the Rose Count. Of course, showing goodwill is worth it. If that's what you think too, director, then what's next? The ghost doctors, not suspecting a thing, were still focused on coming up with ways to impress the Rose Count. Everyone was eager to figure out. No rush even if we have to give the kids some benefits. It has to be within the game's rules. Right, director. A weird smile crept onto his face, and a ruthless glint flashed in his eyes. Yin Chang, who'd been out cold for almost half an hour, felt like he just woke up from a weird dream. When he came to, he couldn't really remember anything. Man, I feel like... Yin Chang squeezed his fist. That feeling was like he could punch and kill a cow with one hand. It was just bizarre. He was pretty confused by it. Was I so weak that I started to hallucinate? He couldn't help testing as he stood up. Crack, crack, pop. His whole body was making crisp popping sounds. Yin Chang just felt. His body had never felt better. Even old injuries from years of overwork just disappeared thanks to Lena. He looked around and saw no one inside. Yin Chang called out, testing it. Right then, the consultation room door clicked open. "You're awake." Lena's pale, bloodless face broke into a gentle smile. After closing the door, she quickly came over, circling Yin Chang a few times to make sure he was really okay. Finally, Lena let out a sigh of relief, studying him with a bright grin. Yin Chang noticed Lena's eyes seemed a little off. He quickly asked, "What about the rose count? Did she leave or is she still here?" Lena's smile slowly faded, and the excitement left her tone. Seeing this, Yin Chang mentally called himself dumb. Lena showed up the moment he called her, which clearly meant she'd been waiting outside all this time, protecting him. And yet the first thing he did after waking up was call Lena over, just to ask about the rose count. Total jerk move. What now? Now what? Yin Chang's brain was on overdrive. Maybe it was thanks to his brother Shun nickname. Or maybe his habit of being every girl's hero was kicking in again. Yin Chang pretended to relax, like he was letting out a deep breath. "For you, thank goodness she's gone. I really thought, He left it hanging, hooking Lena's curiosity as expected. Thought what? He didn't answer right away. Instead, he took a step closer, gently took Lena's cool little hand, and gave it a squeeze. "I thought I was about to lose the one friend who matters most to me here." Lena's honest, emotional gaze, combined with his kind of sappy tone, made poor Lena, who'd never faced this before, totally blush. Her pale cheeks instantly turned red, and she couldn't meet his eyes. She didn't dare look straight at him. What are you talking about?" "Lose me? What do you mean?" Lena was kind of panicked and sounded confused, but there was definitely something else in her tone. A warmth the usual cold was missing. More importantly, she'd accepted being Yin Chang's one true friend without arguing. Yin Chang may not have been a real playboy, but he'd seen enough cheesy dramas to know exactly what was happening. He figured out Lena's feelings completely. "You know, while I was unconscious just now, I had a terrible nightmare." Yin Chang put on a genuinely scared look. "A nightmare?" Lena was even more curious now. Enough to forget that Yin Chang was still holding her hands. Yeah, his voice even trembled a bit. "I dreamed the rose count turned down my offer. She still insisted on dragging me back to her castle to keep me as her walking blood bank. Do you know how hopeless that felt for me?" He sounded shaky, his eyes full of panic, and his grip just got stronger, as if he'd lose something precious. All those moves made Lena's heart, which hadn't beaten in forever, start thumping again, going like crazy. She couldn't even explain what she was feeling, but looking at Yin Chang, her gaze was so soft, she didn't even notice how warm she'd gotten. "In my dream, I thought I was doomed. But you, Lena, you were ready to do anything, to save me no matter what. You'd even go so far." Yin Chang stopped right there on purpose, a bit of sadness in his eyes, going silent. That mood washed over Lena too. She just held on to his big hand, not letting go. "I really thought I was losing you, Lena, honestly, thank goodness. That was just a nightmare. If one of us really had to die, I'd want it to be me." After a quiet moment, Yin Chang gently lifted Lena's head with his hands, looking straight into her eyes. Whatever cheesy line came next, he said it right away, backed up with that textbook gentle gaze. Lena, never so pursued, melted instantly. She wanted to speak, to say it was voluntary. She wanted to tell Chang that for a friend, even if she died, she wouldn't hesitate. But Chang acted. His talent woke, and he reached out, placing a finger on her cool lips, silencing her completely. Words were no longer needed. Warm touch, faces so close. The room's heat began to rise.
Closer, closer.
Between their faces, only a finger's width remained. Then a knock at the door. Lena snapped out of it, her blush fading. She jumped back like a startled rabbit. Chang was devastated inside. A single curse filled his mind. So close, yet so far. Lena, clearly a pure, innocent ghost girl. The moment was finally perfect. But it was ruined. The path to undead night was right there. Blocked by some nobody. This means war. Unknowingly, Yin Chang's mindset had shifted. Being an undead knight didn't seem so bad. He hadn't noticed yet, but not just his mind. His body had been changed too. since it was work time. Despite his frustration, he swallowed his annoyance to treat the ghosts. Until now, the game hadn't given him a task. He was confused. Did his hidden ID fail to work? Based on the experience of top-tier players, when the game pulls players in, it assigns them roles. Or like this hospital, ghosts assign the roles. Once the identity is set, tasks for different players should be issued. Finishing tasks is the priority. It's the only way to leave. The only way home. Survival is the next step. Back in the clinic, as a special doctor, he had seen 2 patients, but still had no task. It felt very strange. The one who entered wasn't a ghost patient, nor one of the players seeking his help. It was the shady director He. Wearing glasses and a grim look, regardless of who it was, he immediately used insight to check the guy's info. Director He, greedy ghost race. Relation, hatred, you're blocking his money. Peak malevolent ghost, loves cash. Anything valuable is money to him. Weakness, greed, his obsession, will be his ultimate downfall. Current status, wants to kill this human. Make it look quiet, within the rules of the hospital. The morgue task is a good choice. That ghoul in there won't mind some fresh human meat. As a snack, the gluttonous ghost in Ward 3 will love that young body too. Damn it. Reading the feedback, he doubted his charm talent. Is it a fake? It said neutral-based friendship. So why does everyone want me dead? Lena was a mistake, fine. Rose was just sick, understandable. But this total stranger, this director I've never met, how am I blocking his money? Rose was only hostile at worst. This guy straight up hates me. This is insane. While plotting how to kill him, Yin Chang kept a calm face, squinting. He glanced at the badge. Director He. Any advice? None at all. You cured the count. He praised you by name. Before long, you'll probably have my job. He wanted to kill him 1,000 times, but his face was full of flattery. This guy is dangerous. Chang knew instantly. He played along. Oh no, you flatter me. I'm just a bit better than the other doctors. It's nothing. Nothing at all. Director He's eye twitched.
Thinking I give him an inch.
And he takes a mile. But then he realized Yin Chang's arrogance was exactly what he needed. Easier to manipulate. Anyway, he cut the act. Directly, he said. A VIP of this hospital needs a replacement arm. Rose proved your skill, so I'm giving you a chance. You mean, go to the morgue and pick an arm for him? With your medical eye, you're better than us. Can you make sure the VIP stays happy with our hospital? I'm counting on you. He looked so sincere. Without insight, Chang would have been fooled. Lena said nothing behind him, meaning he wasn't lying. The VIP was real. But insight warned him. In a place like the morgue, there's a ghoul. That's not normal. However, just as he was finding an excuse to refuse, the game's voice rang out. Congrats, player Yin Chang. Hidden task triggered. Secret of the morgue. Congrats, player Yin Chang. Chain hidden task triggered. Crisis of the 3rd hospital. Finish each part. For a reward. Complete them all. For a massive bonus. Rewards paid at final settlement. I see. Chang understood now. This is why his mission was never released. To become a special physician, you have to have skills that can stand up to supernatural tests. For human players, this is definitely a huge challenge. Even veteran players probably can't handle it. Treating across species is already tough enough. Not to mention crossing dimensions from normal to supernatural. Getting that identity is just the first step. And it's exactly by taking this step that you trigger the hidden quest at the 3rd hospital. That's when Crane Wing will start targeting you. Dangers and quests just keep coming. Take it or turn it down. Yin Chang paused to think for a second. The hidden quest's reward is bound to be generous, but the threat from the ghoul is probably deadly enough for him too. Otherwise, Crane Wing wouldn't bother with this kind of setup. Yin Chang knows exactly what his status is now. With the Earl of Roses behind him, none of these ghosts at the 3rd hospital would dare make a move against him. If he flat out refuses, there's nothing Crane Wing can do to him. After all, he wouldn't dare take him out publicly. Even trying to use someone else as a weapon is already pushing it for Crane Wing.
He's taking a big risk.
Someone like the Earl of Roses, if he really gets offended, might just wipe out everyone involved. The only reason Crane Wing dares to do this is because he has no idea what's causing the Earl of Roses' illness, or how serious it actually is. After thinking it over, Yin Chang pretended to consider and said, "Since the director trusts me so much, if I can't handle this, I'd really be letting him down. That'd make me pretty ungrateful." But anyway, Crane Wing, seeing he was about to agree, hurried to throw in a sweetener. "Don't worry. As long as you satisfy that client, you won't be disappointed with your reward. That's not what I'm concerned about." Yin Chang shook his head. "Well, I just want to bring Lena with me, so she can give me a hand." "No problem, Lena. If you're free now, go with Dr. Yin Chang." Just as expected, He instantly agreed. Yin Chang couldn't help but smile a little. Words of insight. The feedback he got. In Lena's profile as the red-dressed ghost, he definitely remembered the notes. It's pretty obvious. He and the doctors at the hospital have no idea how strong Lena really is. The morgue at 3rd Hospital is on basement level 3. For certain reasons, there's no elevator here. A gloomy, chilly corridor is the only way to the morgue. The morgue in the horror world isn't just for storing bodies. Bodies are kept here. Each body is valuable to the hospital, no matter if it's missing limbs, or only has a few organs left. There's always some patients, or ghosts with their own needs. Someone will want them. The morgue is basically just a warehouse. Steady footsteps echo in the empty, dark space. The strong smell of disinfectant mixing with other strange scents stirs up pure fear in people's hearts. Even if the corridor is empty, it still makes Yin Chang feel like a terrifying, torn-up face could suddenly appear in front of him.
Lena.
Can you sense if any ghosts are nearby? After going further down the corridor, Yin Chang stopped and cautiously asked, "No, what's up?" "Ever since you took the director's task, you seem a bit off. She might be clueless about romance, but she's a good nurse, so her observation skills aren't bad."
Lena.
"You're the friend I trust most in this world, so I won't hide anything from you." Yin Chang slowly spoke. "You probably know, some human players have special abilities." Hearing how Yin Chang talks like he's one of them, Lena felt warm inside and nodded along. Ordinary ghosts might not know this, but Lena's different. Her identity as Death Angel is more complicated, so she knows more. My ability lets me put together clues to get more useful info. Since I first came to 3rd Hospital, the horror game hinted there was trouble at your hospital, short on staff, so they hired outsiders like us. But choosing body parts from the morgue, do you really need medical skill for that? I saw something strange in Director He's eyes. He's got deep hostility toward me. Count Rose, why'd he suddenly approach me? A new specialist? Why did Count Rose just leave? And Director, he came right after? With all these tiny clues, I sense a scheme, and my ability shows Director he has serious issues. Even though Lena trusts him deeply, her feelings are already moving toward attachment, maybe even becoming obsessive. Yin Chang still wouldn't reveal his secret ability, like the eye of insight. He wouldn't share it. He just changed his words and made it sound way less important when telling Lena. So it's he after all. Now that her romance mode is triggered, Lena didn't argue at all, not even the slightest doubt. "Lena, you seem to know something." Not really," Lena replied awkwardly. "I've been at 3rd Hospital a long time, but I'm just a nurse with a bit of authority. A lot of things. He never lets me get involved." Yin Chang's answer isn't helpful, but shows total trust. "Can you tell me more about what's really happening at 3rd Hospital? What's the problem you guys are facing?" Doctors, attendants, even morgue workers, and patients too. Lately, lots of people have been disappearing for no reason. Lena shrugged, looking helpless.
Plus,
Count Rose keeps coming in for treatment, so it's even harder to find staff. Wait, missing Yin Chang caught a clue. Is it just human players, or are ghosts included too? Both, human players. None have ever made it out of 3rd Hospital alive. But don't worry, with me, Yin Chang, you'll be safe. Lena patted him, her generous bosom caused waves of movement, an alluring sight. But Yin Chang had no time for that. No human player has left alive. Greedy ghosts, ghoul in the morgue, tons of clues that seem unrelated, spun rapidly in Yin Chang's mind. He feels he's just missing one tiny piece, and he'll crack the mystery. Finally solve third hospital's secrets. Suddenly, Yin Chang had an epiphany. Lena, what about third hospital's director? The director, that old guy. Ever since he came back from a trip, he's been staying in his private office and hasn't come out for a long time. He strictly forbids anyone entering. It seems he's trying to break through the blood shroud stage. In seclusion, what a coincidence. Is there a vice director or anything? No, third hospital's positions are simple. Just the director, chief doctors, nurses, and a few random workers. So, Yi is pretty much in charge of everything, right? Yin Chang's eyes got brighter. Lena paused a moment. Actually, there are shareholders of third hospital, but they almost never get involved in hospital business. They just collect money. The moment she finished, all the clues in Yin Chang's mind finally linked together. He is definitely the mastermind behind the scenes at third hospital. Greedy ghost. Ghosts obsessed with wealth. With the title of chief doctor, and with the director in seclusion, he's got tons of chances to act. Really too many. The so-called disappearances. Most are to keep his secrets hidden, so he silences people. Outsider human players have to complete game tasks, which means they might discover He's money scheme to prevent any leaks. Third hospital becomes a graveyard for human players, no matter how careful they are. He eventually sets up some deadly task for them, like the ghoul in the morgue, the glutton ghost in Ward 3. There's always something fatal, so players can't survive, while He controls third hospital. How could players fight back? It's easy to prove this theory. The ghoul is something Yin Chang learned with the eye of insight. He obviously can't tell Lena directly. Of course, but if Lena catches the ghoul, that shouldn't be in the morgue. Then everything becomes much simpler. A smile played on Yin Chang's lips. With the help of his insight eye, he can see the mastermind behind Hospital Note 3 and find out who the boss is. Working backward from there, everything gets so much easier. All that's left to do now is use Lena to reveal the truth and complete the hidden quest chain. Lena, I've made some deductions, but to verify them, I need your cooperation. Golden light flashed in Yin Chang's eyes as he spoke slowly. Just tell me what to do. Lena was as direct as ever. It's simple. You just need to... Yin Chang leaned in close, his breath brushing against her ear, and began to whisper. Lena trembled slightly, enduring the strange sensation without pulling away. A blush spread across her jade-pale cheeks. When he finished, Lena breathed a sigh of relief, yet felt strangely disappointed. Got all that? Lena's eyes flickered uncertainly. She said weakly, I didn't quite catch it. Then I'll explain it again. We have plenty of time anyway. Yin Chang didn't mind at all, spending more alone time with Lena. Okay. A strange smile touched Yin Chang's lips as he whispered in her ear again. A moment later, remembered it this time? Oh, sorry. I still seem to have missed some details. It's fine. I'll just say it once more. Yin Chang smiled warmly. Lena leaned in proactively, looking like she was all ears. Half an hour passed quietly. The two moved in tandem, keeping their distance as they advanced. As they reached the morgue entrance, Lena's figure gradually vanished, leaving Yin Chang alone, to walk slowly through the cold, eerie morgue. Rows of gurneys were lined up, alongside stacks of body freezers. A timid person in this environment wouldn't last a few minutes before running out in a panic. Yin Chang was no exception, but with Lena protecting him in the shadows, he didn't feel too anxious. Choosing an arm was just a ruse. Using a ghoul to kill me was the real plan. So the ghoul in this morgue is very likely allowed to be here by that guy He deliberately left to roam. In fact, he might have even put it here himself. That way, even if the dean returns, as a powerful blood-clad ghost, the ghoul will be the scapegoat. From the looks of it, the ghoul surely knows very little, if anything at all. Yin Chang analyzed the situation while maintaining a steady pace. Around him, on the gurneys, mutilated bodies lay cold, hideous, and motionless. Hardly any of the bodies were intact. Observant as he was, he even noticed that some corpses bore traces of being chewed on. A dull thud, like a melon hitting the floor, made Yin Chang jump. Cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Is it coming?
He knew for a fact.
There were no melons in a morgue, nor anything else like that. What hit the floor could only be a severed limb. Asterisk, roll, roll, asterisk. The sound of a head rolling, in the deathly silence, was disturbingly clear. Yin Chang looked toward the sound, his pupils shrinking. On the floor was a head with hollow eyes, chewed down to scraps of flesh, covered in blood and unknown slime. It was gruesome. Those hollow eyes happened to meet Yin Chang's gaze, making his scalp tingle with fear. Safety was one thing, but human fear isn't so easily ignored. Yin Chang focused intently, observing his surroundings with extreme caution. The sound of liquid dripping reached him. Looking up, the droplets on the floor matched the slime on that chewed-up human head.
Exactly.
It's above me. Yin Chang lunged backward, his eyes locking onto the figure on the ceiling. A shadow in the dark. The ghoul's attack was much faster than he expected. Skinless and gaunt, dark red muscle was coated in black slime. As it approached, a foul stench hit him full on. Wanderer, no faction, unknown race, ghoul, disposition, neutral, selfish demon. Prefers devouring corpses. Weakness, head, low intellect, essentially brain dead. Current state, mindless. It seems interested in you, and purposely threw its leftover head to you, to see if you'll dine with it. Would you like a new, not so pretty friend? Asterisk caw, caw, caw. Asterisk crows seemed to circle above, adding an awkward sound, followed by a long ellipsis. Yin Chang felt exhausted for a moment. The king's attraction talent worked. Finally, a ghost that does it. Immediately try to kill me. But isn't this a bit too friendly? Who the hell wants to eat with you? And leftovers, no less. Can you come down?
He gestured subtly behind his back,
Signaling Lena not to show herself yet. The ghoul hanging from the ceiling made a raspy, strange noise, as if responding, or perhaps just confused. Fine, looks like we can't communicate. He is truly meticulous. A thing like this, even if caught, knows absolutely nothing. It really is the perfect scapegoat. Yin Chang sighed helplessly. Just then, the ghoul on the ceiling shifted, landing lightly on the ground. Yin Chang tensed up instantly. Even for a neutral ghoul, he couldn't be sure it wouldn't attack. Besides, even without malice, the aura or essence some ghosts emit can be fatal. The ghoul's next move made Yin Chang's brain freeze. The ghoul held a slimy head and tentatively offered it to him. Dark red flesh, a slime-coated face. Those hollow eyes were terrifying. But now it seemed almost eager to please. Yin Chang felt a stir under his inside eye. The ghoul's current status had changed again. It hadn't given up on dining together. Instead, it grew more enthusiastic. Even more absurd, the ghoul's disposition had jumped straight to friendly. Yin Chang found it completely bizarre. Right then, this ghoul has some issues. It's a freak in the ghoul family. It's likely used to being rejected. Your calm demeanor won its favor. This explanation relieved Yin Chang a bit. He almost worried that his king's attraction was starting to attract non-humans. Soon his attention shifted to the ghoul family Lena mentioned. Yin Chang had thought ghouls were just low-level ghosts, but now it seemed things were far from simple. It looks like the deaths of the human players in the morgue were probably caused by him. Should I kill him? Lena's voice still echoes in my mind. She's seeing things completely from the haunted cinema friend's perspective. He's 2 whole levels higher than a regular ghoul. If he really wanted to kill this little thing in front of him, it'd be way too easy. No rush, Yin Chang whispered. The ghoul in front of him was clearly not very smart. He felt okay communicating with Lena now. What do you mean by the ghoul family? There's no info like that in the human world. Most ghosts in this horror world exist on their own, but some actually have a strong sense of being a group. Ghouls are one of them. Are they really strong? Number. Actually, 99% of ghouls are just the lowest level ghosts. But in a huge group, there's always a few exceptions. Lena sounded almost a little awed as she went on. From what I know, the ruler of the ghouls is some terrifying, unspeakable being. Unspeakable? A look of confusion flashed in Yin Chang's eyes. He got really curious about this new word. From all the intel players have shared, that word has never come up. In the cinema's memory, the blood-clad vengeful ghost seemed to already be the ceiling of what they could deal with, their limit. At that level of ghost, even if he's far away, just saying his name might trigger his awareness. He'd bring down terror. That's why they're called unspeakable. Thinkable, imaginable, but not mentionable. Speak and something happens. Talking about an unspeakable ghost. Lena's eyes had a hint of longing, but in her expression, Yin Chang saw not a hint of fear. Ghosts scarier than even the blood-clad ghost. To a red-clad vengeful ghost like Lena, warranted just respect, not fear. And thinking back to what the Rose Count said about the big shot behind Lena, plus Lena herself being unusual, it's easy to guess that her Angel of Death clan must have at least one unspeakable level being. Anyway, back to the point. Better think about what to do with this situation first. Yin Chang pulled his thoughts together and looked again at the deformed ghoul.
He muttered, not being able to communicate is a big issue.
The ghoul was still holding out that human head to him. Its big black eyes were filled with a hungry look, ugly, deformed, and dumb. This type of ghoul in the horror world is the kind both people and ghosts hate. From its eyes, Yin Chang could read a desperate wish for friends. If you ignore the stench on the ghoul, and its scary looks, and the rotting head it's holding, well, honestly, there is just no way it could look cute. It was even trying to make itself less gross. For this ghoul, everything is tough, but luckily I'm not a regular person. Before he started, Yin Chang took out those rubber gloves he'd especially prepared. He put them on. Then, fighting the urge to gag, he took the nasty, creepy
Head tailor-made to scare humans.
with some messy hair still on it, and grabbed it. I don't eat this stuff, but thanks for the gesture. Looking at the ghoul, he could see real happiness in its deep black eyes. Didn't matter if it understood him or not. Yin Chang still responded politely. The reason for accepting the ghoul's gesture? Well, it's simple. Yin Chang figured. His special kingly allure skill, plus his unique talent insightful eye, were maybe opening up a new path that no other player had ever taken. In most players' eyes, this horror game means killing, death, survival, and struggle. But for him, it's different. Others play to survive, but he wanted to play a healing, warm-hearted game. All that killing and fighting is just pointless. You know the saying, more friends, easier road? With more friends, you go farther. Why can't humans and ghosts be friends? Just because someone's ugly and stinky, can you really look down on him? Yin Chang liked to think of himself as a person with high morals. He'd never judge anyone, ghost or not, for their flaws. It's not because there's an unspeakable big shot in the ghoul clan, and maybe getting on good terms could help. Not at all. Also, since Lena proves things can go both ways, who's to say an outcast ghoul like this couldn't have some unique special talent nobody knows? Making a good connection never hurts, right? This funny little guy is just He's pawn anyway. Eating some leftovers put outside isn't a big deal. The stuff he hoards is worth way more than what's been eaten. And besides, third, does the hospital's loss have anything to do with him? Lena's just a nurse, so when it's finally settled, none of it falls on him. Glancing at the insightful eye's feedback, the ghoul's friendliness had reached the trust level. Even Yin Chang found it hard to believe. Just by taking the head, he'd suddenly made the ghoul skip right over friendly and straight up to trusting. Man, how humble do you have to be for that to happen? Yin Chang was speechless. After some effort, Yin Chang finally used gestures and talking to get the ghoul to understand him. It followed him quietly, even pulled a rotten arm off the jade carriage, and chewed as he walked. Definitely a creepy sight, but Yin Chang stayed calm. With the ghoul sorted out, the task he gave him became way easier. All the cautious plans he'd made with Lena ended up not mattering. But still, As he opened one body locker after another, Yin Chang's face grew darker. 10 lockers, 9 are empty. And in the last one, there was only a tiny bit of body and skin left. Looking at the rows of morgue coolers, he lost any motivation to open more. You greedy ghost. He's insane greed. No question. All those lockers are probably just as empty. A whole morgue turned into this by He's greed. It's hard to imagine how he could run the third hospital for so long. Just how much is missing? And He's wealth. How terrifyingly massive is it? Slowly, Yin Chang's eyes narrowed. A strange light flickered in his pupils. Ghost coins. The only currency in the horror world. It's also for human players. The basic reward for finishing tasks. With enough ghost coins, you can buy items in the game shop to boost your survival odds. As a rookie player, Yin Chang started a hidden task, and with a high chance, could finish it with ease. But he thought those rewards would still be limited, not enough for the shop's money pit. At least compared to he was likely far behind. This is tough. Yin Chang frowned. Killing He is easy, but tricky to pull off. To finish the hidden task and seize his massive wealth and kill him without getting caught won't be a simple matter. Money is a greedy ghost's life. That's what Inside Eye told him. To get rich off the hospital. He's methods were brutal, not just against human players, but the hospital staff. And even patients were his victims. Such a mad, greedy ghost. Yin Chang didn't doubt which choice he'd make between money and life. Forget it, no need to rush. Finish the medicine task first. Hidden task. The secret of the morgue. The ghoul is dealt with. Now, just pick an arm. And the task is done. But at one glance, looking around, the morgue cabinets were empty. Only a few bodies on the carts, and they were all mangled scraps. The so-called big client must want a perfect replacement. If I pick a mangled one, it's easy to imagine, once the client gets angry, Yin Chang would be the scapegoat. Truly a cunning, greedy ghost. One single task, a double death trap. Ruthless, Yin Chang's eyes flashed. If not for the task, and He's massive wealth, he wouldn't wait a second to go and kill him. Squinting in thought, his gaze fell on the chewed arm, all mangled and disgusting. A plan began to take shape. Stop eating, Yin Chang barked. Friendliness level. The ghoul, now a close friend, obediently stopped eating. Its big hollow eyes looked at him in confusion. Right, Yin Chang had spent time communicating with the ghoul, and its friendliness skyrocketed to the bosom friend level. The dim-witted ghost obeyed him, as long as it understood. Come out, no need to hide. Yin Chang waved toward where Lena was.
Hearing this,
Lena appeared obediently. Seeing the nurse appear, the ghoul's eyes flashed with malice. Gurgle. A dull sound came out, emitting a warning stench. Its slimy body crouched low, growing sharp, black claws. It blocked Yin Chang's path, poised and ready, about to pounce and tear the frail nurse to shreds. Relax, Lena is a friend. Ignoring if it understood, Yin Chang walked to Lena's side to show the ghoul their close friendship. He even gave her an intimate, full embrace. Her pale face instantly flushed. Lena's body trembled slightly from nerves. Hard to imagine. She's so shy despite her mature look. Easily teased by Yin Chang. Gurgle. Its malice faded, letting out a confused sound. Seeing this, Yin Chang nodded with satisfaction. The ghoul is dumb, but it's a loyal friend. At any sign of trouble, no matter how strong the foe, it really steps up. After calming the ghoul, Yin Chang didn't let Lena go. He leaned in and whispered, I have a plan. I need your help, Lena. Though no one was around, he acted so cautious and careful. What was his goal? Anyone could see through it. He just wanted to flirt a little. But Lena, blinded by love, didn't notice his scheme. What plan?
tell me.
He's task is a death trap. The bodies in the morgue have all been sold by him. Only scraps are left. Nothing I can use. Saying this, Yin Chang's anger rose. His voice turned icy. Lena's eyes flashed with malice too. In her heart, he was already dead. The big client he mentioned? You know him, right? I know. Can you contact him? secretly, without Yi knowing. Yes, what do I do? Lena asked obediently, not scary like other ghosts see her. Great, Lena. You are my lucky star. Yin Chang praised her warmly, giving her a thumbs up. Then he explained his plan. Can't kill Yi yet. However, I can use my resources to mess with him first and set a bait for Yi. Greedy ghosts love money. The only way to bait him is with enough wealth. Isn't that big client the perfect choice? And count Rose's connections. Time to use them. In the office, Yi toyed with a bloody scalpel. He saw Yin Chang in a pool of blood. As a meal for the ghoul, with a bloodthirsty smile, he started planning the cleanup after the death. Just then, there was a frantic knock. The werewolf doctor shouted, "Something's wrong. Director, come in and talk." Why the panic? The werewolf doctor rushed in. The first thing he said was, "Director, your arm is in danger." What the hell? Yi was stunned. He looked blank behind his glasses. His face darkened. What nonsense are you saying? What do you mean my arm? That big client. He wants your arm for transplant. The werewolf panted like a husky, breathing hard, and spoke in fear. Boom. Yi felt like lightning hit his head. How could this be? His mind went blank.
His lips trembled.
For a long while, he couldn't say a full word. In the office, Yi was still reeling from the shock.
He hadn't snapped out of it yet.
When there was another knock at the door, whoever knocked didn't wait for a response and just pushed the door open. Yi instinctively looked over. His pupils shrank instantly. A cold killing intent burst out of him. Even the werewolf doctor, who's only as strong as a minor fiend, shivered without thinking. He had no idea why. Even though he sensed the killing intent, Yin Chang wasn't fazed by Yi's mighty presence at all. Director, what's this about? I never offended you, right? As soon as he said that,
Yi snapped back to reality.
He forced down his anger and killing intent and confusion. Weren't you supposed to get the limbs the client wanted? What's this? Here's what happened. I found out in the morgue. For some reason, before he could finish, cold sweat broke out on Yi's forehead. He silently cursed. How foolish he was. Asking these questions in front of the werewolf doctor. Wouldn't that just expose the morgue's secrets? Forget about anything else. What's up with him? Why would you dare bring a ghoul with you? To the morgue? Yi pointed at the foul-smelling, an ugly ghoul behind Yin Chang, and snapped at it. He was striking first, and turning the blame around, something he clearly excelled at. It didn't matter why Yin Chang hadn't been killed by the ghoul, or that the ghoul seemed to follow him. That wasn't important. What mattered was, he could use this chance to throw the blame right onto Shadow City. He's just someone I met in the morgue, not someone I brought in. I'm a new human here. How could I even pull off something like that? Shadow City secretly smiled. One quick line took care of the situation.
He's a player.
Who's never even set foot in Third Hospital before. That's something you can't deny. Plus, Lena can vouch for it. About the ghoul. Yi wanted to put the blame on him, but obviously that's impossible. Yi frowned. Problem after problem kept popping up. He even forgot that Shadow City was just a human player. He was just a rookie, being watched all the time. How could he possibly have the chance to secretly find a ghoul, then openly bring it into the morgue and take it out again? Sorry about that. I let my anger get the best of me. He always knows how to keep his cool, and apologized right away. But tell me, you say he's a new friend, but do you realize a ghoul showing up in the morgue means something serious? Yi changed tactics and aimed at the ghoul now. Of course I know. There's not a single intact corpse left in the morgue anymore. Even those 3 human players. Yin Chang shrugged, like he was helpless, with his gloved right hand. He took the chewed-up arm from the ghoul's arms and tossed it on the desk. This is the only one I could find. That looks half decent. Hope the VIP client won't be too picky. Yi broke out in even more cold sweat. When Yin Chang said this, a human player who actually came back alive made him forget about the client asking for his arm for a second. When he realized it, He suddenly panicked. To become director at Third Hospital, his hands were obviously crucial. Forget losing an arm. He didn't even want to lose a finger. He wasn't about to let that happen. His title as director was the foundation for making a fortune. Using Third Hospital, no matter how rich the client is, they wouldn't pay such an outrageous price for his arm. So, he couldn't possibly accept that. Damn it. What now? What am I supposed to do? There's no way I can refuse that VIP client. He was freaking out inside. Still, he couldn't think of a solution right now. So anxious that he ignored the ghoul and Yin Chang for a while. He wasn't in the mood to deal with him for now. But Yin Chang wasn't about to just let it go. Come on, seriously? He just finished a hidden quest and got a 1,000 ghost power reward. He was planning to finish the Third Hospital hidden quest all the way and grab the final reward. As for Heyi's trouble, of course it was all arranged by Shadow City. The steps were simple. Using the blood-drenched ghost's power and the Rose Count's incurable disease, Shadow City solved them all and even won the guy's praise. That's way better than advertising in the real world and a whole lot more effective with that kind of reputation. And Lena's connection to the VIP client. Famous Dr. Yin Chang gave Mr. Stitch, the VIP, some simple advice.
And so?
He ended up in this mess. And this is just step one of Yin Chang's plan. Cutting off Heyi's arm was never the final goal. It was just to throw him into a panic, so he'd walk right into the trap. In the meantime, all Yin Chang had to do was help satisfy Heyi's urge to get rid of him and let the quest play out. Once Heyi couldn't take it anymore, Lena, the Third Hospital nurse, would throw out the trump card herself. Then there was no way Heyi wouldn't fall for it. The greedy ghost values money above all else, but that weakness makes him most vulnerable. Yin Chang couldn't wait to see the greedy ghost torn apart by Mr. Stitch's rage. But before that,
Director He.
I've already done everything I can for that selection task. So, can I go back to work now? That perfectly timed reminder woke Heyi up. A glint of darkness flashed in his eyes. No rush. We're really short-staffed at Third Hospital lately, so the less serious cases can just be handled by the other doctors. You're the one who cured the Rose Count, so of course I need you for the tough jobs, right? Yin Chang nodded with a smile. There's an old patient in room 108, 4th floor, ward 3. He's been feeling bad ever since his surgery and hasn't gotten better the whole time he's been here. Why don't you check on him? Well, since you said so, Director. I'm actually curious what his illness is. Can't believe it's taken this long to fix. Yin Chang pretended to be interested. Agreed right away. Oh, by the way, if the patients in Ward 3 get dealt with, I've still got a few specifically for you. This time, he played it smart. Seems like he wants to be extra careful, trying to completely get rid of Yin Chang. He actually listed off a string of issues, naming several patients that need help. By Yin Chang's ear, the horror game system prompts kept dinging. The chain of hidden missions all got dumped on him thanks to his crazy moves. He unlocked them all at once. Goodbye, Director He. After cheerfully accepting a total of 5 hidden missions, Yin Chang left the office beaming. If each mission is 1,000 ghost coins, that's a fat stack 5,000 ghost coins coming his way. For a human player, that's a crazy amount of wealth. Most veteran players don't even have nearly that many ghost coins. To stay alive, ghost coins are essential. The game shop is a real money pit. Almost all reward money basically gets spent there. So once he finishes all the hidden missions, Yin Chang will totally level up and become a hidden tycoon in the real world. In reality, 1 ghost coin can be exchanged for 100,000 cash. It's in high demand and rare to get. Shows just how valuable it is. Yin Chang strolled off with the ghoul in tow, while Heyi still couldn't calm down. He looked horribly grim. He turned and grabbed the phone next to him. Called up that big-name streamer. Beep beep, the call connects. Hello, is this Mr. Ralph? I'm Mr. Ralph's servant. How can I help you? So here's the thing. I'm Heyi, chief physician at Third Hospital. I've got a problem. No need to ask. Mr. Ralph already said. His decision won't change. That's it. The cold voice cut Heyi off right there and hung up. Listening to the busy tone on the phone, He's eyes burned with anger and frustration, plus a new level of panic. If it were just a red wraith haunting him, even a top-tier patchwork monster like He wouldn't be this scared. He's got some good connections. Or else he wouldn't be sitting here. But the problem is, Ralph's father created the patchwork monsters himself. That Ralph guy is even scarier than the Earl of Roses. No, I can't just sit here waiting to die. Right, I can still contact them. He's eyes darted around. He thought of his business partner. Stealing hospital resources for so long and selling them off. There had to be a sales channel for this. And whoever is behind that channel must be very well connected too. While he was desperately making calls, trying to save his own skin, Yin Chang arrived at Ward 3. He stood at the door to the Hidden Quest's patient. Lena was still hiding nearby, the ghoul quietly trailing behind. But he didn't rush in yet. He peeked through the little window in the door, using his inside eye skill first. Because this is a special patient. There's only one huge guy inside the room, stuffing his face like crazy, shoving anything he could eat right into his mouth. Didn't even bother chewing, just gulped it all down. It was freaky to watch. Patient at 3rd Hospital, kid, race gluttonous ghoul. Neutral attitude. He just hasn't noticed you yet. But the second he sees you, he'll definitely try to eat you. Strength, top-tier evil spirit. Loves to eat. Weakness, it's super easy to poison him through food. Current status, hungry. So hungry, starving. Gluttonous ghouls aren't impossible to satisfy. But someone is messing with him for profit. They set up a hidden transport array inside his stomach. So anything he eats just gets sent to the trash heap. Of course, he can never get full. Just destroy the array and he'll be fine. Looks like that guy He is behind this one too. No doubt about it, Yin Chang was speechless. But he had to admire He's money-making skills. Who puts a portal in a gluttonous ghoul's stomach so he can never feel full? That's seriously twisted. But the hospital benefits and the consultation fees keep rolling in. It's evil genius stuff, but it's big money too. Even capitalists would cry seeing this. Lena, still with me. This big guy looks dangerous. Help me hold him down, and I'll do the diagnosis. Clear and simple. Yin Chang didn't plan to waste time. He went straight in for forced treatment. Lena, as a red wraith, easily outclassed the ghoul. Kid's scalpel flashed coldly, hovering before his forehead as a threat. No matter how hungry he was, the gluttonous ghoul dared not move. He clearly wants to live more than eat right now. At least until he gets full. Yin Chang put on gloves and started checking his pulse, looking serious. Yeah, the ghoul's so absurdly fat, with greasy hands everywhere. Yin Chang really didn't want to touch it. Mr. Ghoul, checkup's done. Just a small issue with your stomach. No worries, it's easy to fix. You won't be bothered by constant hunger again. Really? Patient kid was over the moon. No more killer look in his eyes. Just pure hopefulness. His massive body wobbled like a pile of meat, creaking the bed underneath. Don't worry, just a minor procedure. Yin Chang answered confidently, then called over Lena and explained the case. No big deal. I can handle it without surgery. Lena gave a slight, charming smile. Her slender, pale fingers traced a graceful arc in the air. The scalpel hovered, guided by Lena's ghostly power, emitting a glittering chill, and precisely pierced through the ghoul's thick fat. The stomach's array shattered instantly under that icy flash, and no longer worked. Couldn't function at all anymore. Once done, Lena nodded to Yin Chang. Yin Chang was a little surprised, but after thinking it through, wasn't bothered. Yeah, just a little hole in the gut. Doesn't really count as surgery. In a ghost world like this, nothing is too weird. Go ahead, see if you can eat now. Yin Chang pointed to a pile of weird snacks stacked up around the ghoul. Kid couldn't wait any longer and tossed a bunch of food straight in his mouth, chomped it all down without chewing, bite after bite. After maybe 10 minutes, Yin Chang's eyes started to twitch. He watched the ghoul, now lying on the floor, having flattened the hospital bed completely. He almost wondered if Lena messed up. But thankfully, after clearing the mountain of food, the ghoul finally stopped eating. Doug, you're truly amazing. I haven't felt this full in ages. He started sobbing.
Tears absolutely streaming down.
His attitude jumped right up to completely trusting. Nice. Another ghostly friend. Yin Chang nodded, quite satisfied, though honestly his looks are about on par with the totally silent ghoul standing nearby. Let's go, his problem solved. Let's hurry to the next case. A new horror. Game prompt chimed. Another 1,000 ghost coins. He was pumped up, just as Yin Chang and Lena were about to leave. Wait, the sobbing ghoul. Kid actually called them back. Yin Chang turned around, looking at the glutton ghost in confusion. Any other questions? No, no questions. I'm so grateful to you, Dr. Yin. You solved my problem once and for all. Wiping away his tears, the glutton ghost reached into his bloated pocket. After a moment, he pulled out a small box. I know I'm not much, but I understand the meaning of gratitude, the glutton ghost said in a muffled voice. You solved a problem that could have haunted me forever. In return, please take this little thing. I hope it can be of some help to you. Yin Chang was stunned, his expression softening with mixed emotions. This time, he took off his gloves and didn't refuse. With a smile, he took the greasy box from the ghost. Thank you, Yin Chang replied gratefully. Don't mention it. You earned this. The glutton ghost chuckled sheepishly, scratching his head, as if he felt a bit embarrassed. Oh, right. He seemed to remember something about that thing in the box. I'm not quite sure what it does, but it looks like something special. It should be a decent ghost artifact. If you can't use it, you can trade it for plenty of ghost coins.
Hearing this,
Yin Chang's eyes lit up instantly. A ghost artifact? Even if only a possibility, it was enough to surprise him. These so-called ghost artifacts weren't like common weapons found in typical fantasy novels. In the horror world, ghosts are terrifying, not just because of their gruesome and hideous appearances, but mostly because these entities possess hyperdimensional powers beyond human logic. Ghost artifacts are special items born from the supernatural dimensions of this world. Their power varies, but their rarity is absolute. Lena's current strength is considered above average, yet even she couldn't obtain one. Her ghost scalpel was just a common tool. Even with her backing from high-level entities, it wasn't enough. These items, you can't just find them with raw power. It takes luck, and the artifact must recognize you. Exactly, the master doesn't choose the artifact. The artifact chooses the master. Otherwise, even if you obtain it, it's nothing more than a useless ornament. You can't force it to serve you through threats. They aren't sentient beings, yet they follow strict rules for choosing owners, which can be quite frustrating. In Yin Chang's memory, there were a few lucky souls in the human world who were chosen by ghost artifacts. They became high-end players envied by all, with combat power equal to ghosts. Looking at the small box in his hand, Yin Chang's gaze grew intense. Who wouldn't want a ghost artifact to gain the power to protect themselves, instead of always relying on others? Regardless of whether it's a ghost artifact, I accept your gift. If we meet again in the future, and you ever need help, I will do my absolute best. Yin Chang spoke calmly, making a promise to the glutton ghost. A small favor might not always be repaid with a fountain of gratitude, but he would do what he could. Moreover, if it really was a ghost artifact, it was far more than a small favor. It was a massive, generous gift. A promise for a gift? That was Yin Chang's way of doing business. Great. With your word, I'm relieved. If I ever get sick again, I'll definitely come looking for you. The glutton ghost responded happily.
to him,
A ghost artifact he couldn't use was just a token of thanks. To get a promise from someone like Yin Chang in return was an unexpected bonus. He was naturally delighted. After bidding farewell to the grateful ghost, Yin Chang didn't rush to the next mission site. Instead, he and Lena found a secluded spot. After ensuring no one was watching, he carefully opened the small box. An eyeball? Yin Chang was startled. What an eerie aura. Lena frowned slightly, her delicate face showing a hint of caution. Inside the tiny box was a blood-red vertical pupil the size of a marble, emitting a sinister glow. The eyeball, like a perfect gemstone, was set into a ring. Strangely, that vertical eye seemed alive, slowly rotating on the ring, until it locked eyes with Yin Chang. Yin Chang felt a bit panicked. That bizarre gaze gave him a creepy, skin-crawling sensation. But in the end, nothing happened. There was no chosen one moment, no artifact bonding, and no accidents. The eyeball ring just lay quietly in the box, its gaze simply meeting Yin Chang's. Looks like it really is a ghost artifact, though its effect is unknown. And clearly, neither of us has been chosen as its master. Calming down, Yin Chang shrugged helplessly. When a ghost artifact chooses a master, physical contact isn't necessary. When a ghost or human gets within a certain range, the artifact bonds automatically based on its rules. If it's not the right person, it remains a dead object. Even if it looks extraordinary, that's all it will ever be. Lena also looked a bit disappointed, not because she craved the artifact, but because she hoped Yin Chang would be chosen, so he'd have more power to protect himself. After all, she knew clearly that Yin Chang was a human player who would eventually leave the third hospital. She could protect him here, but once he stepped outside this hospital, everything would be uncertain. Forget it, it was an unexpected gain anyway. Artifact bonding. It was never meant to be that simple. Yin Chang shook his head, pushing aside his disappointment. Let's go. Let's finish the missions first. As for this thing, I'll find a way to sell it later. It should still fetch a lot of ghost coins. Adjusting his mindset, Yin Chang took Lena's arm, looking like a perfect couple, and headed toward the next station. Behind them, the hideous ghoul acted like a guardian, crawling on the ground and following quietly. In the time that followed, with the help of Eye of Insight, his unique and miraculous talent, Yin Chang was naturally unstoppable. He and Lena quickly handled the remaining patients. They were mostly the same, unlucky souls like the glutton ghost, who had been sabotaged by He's schemes. Harvested 6,000 ghost coins, friendship with 6 ghosts, plus a ghost artifact. Afterward, the hidden quest reached its end, but this time, He didn't issue the quest. The game notification rang instead. Quest after quest. Each step was full of peril. If you weren't a lucky player, you'd have reached a dead end. Your sharp mind smelled a plot. He, who gave you death quests, has a major problem. As a narrator-like voice rang in Yin Chang's ears, the final quest was released. Final quest. Third hospital crisis. The hospital seems calm, but it's actually falling apart. Where is the missing director? Why are staff and patients vanishing? Why haven't any humans survived? Fatal chain of quests. The ship of the third hospital is sinking due to someone's greed. Goal: resolve the hospital crisis. Time is running out. The madness of the greedy could end the hospital anytime. Rewards given after completion. Skipping the intro. After checking the requirements, his eyes narrowed slightly. The time warning was glaring, but his lips curled up, not panicking at all. The tighter the time, the clearer the problem becomes. Greedy, he is getting desperate. It's easy to imagine, with his ruthless style. Seeing that, he can't save his rank or arm. Madness isn't surprising. Like before fleeing the hospital, pulling one last big scam. Yin Chang isn't surprised. He even thought, if that guy he saw me safe and sound, appearing before him again,
He would probably go insane.
What are you laughing at? Lena looked at him curiously. She can't hear the game's voice. She knows nothing of his quest. The final quest is released. Once the crisis is solved, I can finish the mission and return to the human world. Are you leaving? Lena's expression shifted. A flicker of sadness passed, but she didn't say much. She knew this day would come. No rush. I have a whole week for this. I'll stay until the last day. A cheesy line for the end. Yin Chang said it naturally. Lena's face flushed red. She looked down, shy to see him. A mature-style ghost, the big sister nurse, was no match for him here. Before going back to He, we must contact Count Rose. Yin Chang suddenly thought, Count Rose is the key player. I haven't even called him yet. But come to think of it, given how he loves my blood, a little sacrifice should be fine. Speaking of Count Rose, I forgot to tell you something. Lena slapped her forehead, speaking seriously. What is it? Before I tell you, Yin Chang, please be mentally prepared. Lena looked worried, fearing he couldn't handle it. Yin Chang felt more confused. Lena, just say it. I'm already surviving this game. What else can I handle? Don't worry, it's fine. Lena stopped hesitating. She told him of the embrace, performed by Count Rose, including the mark on his arm. The magic circle he missed. Shock, confusion, and joy. Many complex emotions swirled inside Yin Chang, leaving him speechless. Having read many novels, he knew this classic trope just a few hours ago. He was a normal human. Now he had become a monster living off blood. Perhaps vampire fans would love this, but for Yin Chang, he saw the bigger picture. To survive, being turned into a vampire wasn't something he hated. The catch is he's unique, with two amazing talents. He had a great foundation. On top of that, the value of being kindred was something to weigh carefully. It's well known. Vampires fear sunlight, fear holy water, fear crosses, and must live on blood. These are flaws and fatal weaknesses. The pros include great healing power and eternal life, plus ancestral blood magic. If the embrace grants these, Yin Chang would skip the rookie stage and rise to the top, leading all human players. Pros and cons. But for Yin Chang, cons outweighed the gains. He disliked the limitations. Most importantly, the embrace, as he knows it, with a high-tier vampire, creates a servant bond. He couldn't accept that. You seem unhappy. Is it because you aren't human? No. It's about this. Yin Chang smiled bitterly. He didn't hide it, and told Lena his concerns. Of course, about his talent. He kept that secret. After hearing him out, Lena's face looked strange. What? Is there a problem? Yin Chang asked curiously. I think, Yin Chang, you've misunderstood things. Lena spoke solemnly. Her face turned serious. First, kindred is kindred. Vampires are vampires. They are totally different. Yin Chang was stunned. In his mind, and from other players. Besides the name, they were the same species. Yin Chang, remember this. In the thriller world, with royals like Count Rose, never ever use vampire to address them. Lena's voice grew stern. Kindred is kindred. Vampires are vampires. If there is a link, kindred are like royalty. Vampires are just their branded slaves, the lowest kind of slaves. And you mixed up kindred with vampire traits. The weaknesses aren't all true. And even if they were, only vampires have them. True kindred are an elite race here. Their blood has no flaws and no servant bonds. Since Count Rose sired you. Actually, Yin Chang, you are part of the family. Isn't that basically a straw? From Lena's tone, Yin Chang could sense a hint of jealousy. Well, not that she was jealous he became a vampire, but jealous that Count Rose turned him when Lena didn't have that power. Yin Chang could see right through her little thoughts. While finishing the hidden mission with Lena, his amazing healing skills really made Lena admire him even more. And her favorability level grew into something beyond normal attachment. Borderline obsessive. Normally the favorability levels go up like this. Neutral, friendly, close. Trust, heart to heart, life or death. And going down, hostile, killing intent, hatred. Mortal enemies. Obsession and attachment are special exceptions, only showing up in unique relationships. Wait, I have another question. Something crossed Yin Chang's mind, and his face looked shocked. What's up? Count Rose turned me into a vampire, but he still wants to drink my blood. As food? Doesn't that mean? Yin Chang started to feel uneasy. The vampire world seems kind of messy. I really don't know about that, but rumor has it that vampires
exist.
Because vampires wanted a constant source of blood, so they created them. But apparently there was an accident in the process. Lena explained with a clueless look. I see. Anything else I need to know? Just tell me everything at once. I can handle it. That's pretty much it. Except Count Rose left a vampire magic circle on your arm. You can use it to send potions directly to Count Rose. Or maybe even contact him. Lena thought for a second, then pulled up Yin Chang's sleeve, revealing a deep crimson stamp-sized magic circle. Yin Chang stared at the circle on his arm and zoned out a bit. His expression turned a little stiff, and right away, some strange thoughts popped up in his head. Is it possible that this magic circle can automatically draw my blood and send it right to Count Rose's mouth? No one expected Yin Chang to ask something so random, but he did. Lena tilted her pretty face slightly. She also went quiet for a second. A few moments later, Count Rose told me to remind you about your round of medicine, so manage it yourself. But if he thinks the results aren't good enough, Yin Chang's face instantly fell. He started to feel bummed out. He was even more convinced. The magic circle that Count Rose put on him is basically a straw. He could slurp anytime he wanted. I mean, that's just wild. Yin Chang, you really don't need to stress about it. I think Count Rose actually values you a lot. Otherwise, he'd never give you his first embrace, which he's never done before. Seeing how down he looked, Lena couldn't help but comfort him. But honestly, that just made it worse. With every word, Yin Chang felt like he was getting closer to the truth. Why do I feel like Count Rose only turned me into a vampire to make sure I stay alive longer and don't get sucked to death too easily? One human, one ghost. Both went quiet. The ghoul lying on the ground behind them remained quietly in place, guarding Shadow City like a bodyguard. Whatever, maybe I'm overthinking it. Yin Chang shook his head, pushed those thoughts aside, and looked back at the magic circle. He had never seen this thing before, yet it felt like he just knew how to use it. He could activate it easily. And then, Yin Chang couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. First step to activate, drip blood. It's a straw. Totally a straw. Yin Chang couldn't help but complain again. Still, he had no choice but to cut his finger and drip a bit of blood onto it. The magic circle instantly glowed blood red, and the blood drop vanished into thin air before it even hit the circle. Meanwhile, in the ancient castle wrapped in thorny black roses, at the dining table ding, the crisp sound of wine glasses echoed around the grand hall. In the glass, the crimson wine smelled richly of grapes. Another thing, vampires love wine. It looks like blood, but tastes totally different. And vampires love it anyway. How rare. You actually invited me to dinner this time. So I guess you really are cured. Cured? Come on. I was just in the mood lately to visit the hospital and pick out some tasty blood, that's all. You got the wrong idea. Huh, picking blood and killing the doctor on the side. We've been besties for years. I know you and you know me, right? I'm just curious how a human managed to cure your so-called incurable disease. Count Rose's eyebrows shot up instantly, and the grand hall suddenly turned blood red. Countless strands of blood formed, ready to attack. The mood got tense in a split second. You're spying on me? Look, why are you so nervous? I've always done this kind of thing. But you never reacted like this before. A figure stepped out of the darkness, with a little yellow talisman on her forehead. Barely 5'3", totally cutesy looking, wearing an adorable ancient official outfit and a little hat, half hidden by the yellow robe, was an absolutely doll-like, porcelain face, bright yellow eyes, stared at Count Rose, with a look that probed for answers. So, are we still besties or what? You really trying to hide this from me? She might act clueless, but the aura around her turned scary and damp, forming gray, clawed hands reaching out to face off Count Rose's blood strands. Not scared at all. Count Rose was actually pissed off now. That fancy attitude almost slipping. He really wanted to say, "Who the hell is your bestie?" Clearly, she's a backstabbing bestie. The kind that's blacker than ink. No one knows better than him. That behind the cute face, this zombie girl is as crafty as they come. She'd do anything to dig up his secrets and make fun of him with them. No tactic is off limits. Of course, Count Rose wasn't exactly innocent himself either. Who would have thought a vampire and a zombie would team up and become black-hearted besties? But right now, 'cause of some guy, Count Rose got a little thrown off, and zombie lowly bestie caught him slipping. In the castle's great hall, the tension was intense. The vampire servants around were used to it. Scenes like this were nothing new today. They'd already seen it too many times. From these two wicked besties, they'd long since grown numb. Nothing could surprise or scare them anymore. But today, the unexpected still happened. How coincidental, when these two powerful blood-drenched ghosts clashed with their domains. The Countess Rose's face suddenly shifted. A hint of worry flashed across her stunning face, because she clearly felt the vampire magic circle she'd placed on Yin Chang had been activated. Normally, that wouldn't be a big deal. But both of her wicked besties were here. More importantly, just to satisfy some twisted amusements and savor that delicious blood again. The sigil she left on Yin Chang was purposely set by the Countess Rose, with a rule that required a drop of blood as tribute. Of course, the blood wasn't for supplying energy to the portal. Instead, when the magic circle activated, it would be sent straight to the Countess Rose. Yin Chang, gifted with royal allure, had blood that even regular ghosts found hard to resist, let alone vampires, or zombies who also loved blood. A zombie's stiff throat gulped. The sound echoed around the hall. A single bead of blood, red as a ruby, materialized, floating before the Countess Rose. A craving like never before arose. This moment, under her aura, the vampire servants wouldn't dare move. But their hidden fangs all sprang out, their eyes practically burned with desire. Fixed on that drop of blood hanging in the air, hoarse, wild snarls erupted, like their primal instincts were triggered, coming straight from their mouths. If it weren't for the innate bloodline suppression, they'd have probably lost it already and fought over the blood. But compared to the vampire ancestor, the cute little zombie girl wasn't so good at holding back. Her bright yellow eyes sparkled like never before. Even her porcelain face, a bit stiff, was filled with complete longing. In a flash, she turned into a shadowy blur. Zombie claws formed from corpse energy reached out, and she shot toward the blood. But there's no way the Countess wasn't prepared. The sigil shield on Yin Chang was her doing. The blood sent over was right in front of her. The Countess Rose gave a cold sneer, then flicked her red tongue, and with one motion, the scented blood vanished as she swallowed it. Damn it. A wine glass full of blood-red wine exploded on the spot, but the Countess Rose was back to her classy self, quietly sitting and calmly watching the zombie girl pout, while she glanced over all the servants in the hall. After a long moment, peace returned to the castle. The servants were all tense and terrified, their pale faces dropping to the floor, foreheads pressed against it. They trembled, shaking in fear. The zombie girl crawled back to her seat, finally calming down. That was that missing human's blood, right? Such a mesmerizing, wonderful taste. Too bad it carried a hint of vampire scent. I know exactly what you're up to. But I'm telling you, don't even think about it. Or else, I really will turn on you, the Countess Rose said coldly, her gaze clashing with the zombie girl's, not backing down at all. And if I say no? After all these years, maybe this is as far as we go. The Countess's tone turned even colder, showing her resolve. A hint of regret flashed in the zombie girl's red eyes. That blood really was irresistible. But she never expected the Countess would end their friendship over this. Sure, both of them were wicked, but their bond was way deeper than those friendly types out there, especially after years of playful rivalry. They both lived for that unique thrill. Who'd have thought Countess Rose would go this far for a human? All for some guy. Why? The zombie girl really didn't get it. Her tone instantly softened. She knew Countess Rose only responded to sweetness, not force. No reason. But sadly, the zombie girl just wasn't getting her answer. A noble vampire would rather die than admit she's lost her appetite. That'd hurt more than death. Countess Rose would never reveal that, no matter what. No matter how much she loved that incredible blood. There's no way you'd give your first embrace to a human. Looks like that human doctor's really something. Rose, come on, just tell me. What little secret are you hiding from me? 3 black marks sprang across the Countess Rose's forehead, her eyes twitching in irritation. Right in front of her, the cute little zombie girl was suddenly bouncing over, pulling on her hand and turning on the charm. If you didn't know any better, it might seem cute. But Countess Rose knew the truth. She knew all about the zombie girl. She looked totally harmless and adorable. But she was actually much older than Rose. No one knew how many centuries it had been. Just imagining this girl, hugging her arm and acting cute, was a really strange feeling. Still, awkward as it was, deep down, Countess Rose couldn't help but feel a bit proud. After all, who else could say? A zombie on the level of a blood-drenched ghost would act cute for them? So, about the doctor. I'll tell you, but you have to promise you won't make a move on him. And don't ask him anything about me. Faced with the zombie girl's puppy dog act, Countess Rose finally gave in, deciding to share some of the truth with her wicked bestie. Of course, really. It was also because the other girl had noticed something unusual about Yin Chang's blood. Instead of letting zombie girl plot behind her back, it's better to just be honest and share a bit of info to get her promise. Zombie girl might be wicked, but she always keeps her word. Before I tell you, let me tidy up this place first. Countess Rose gently pulled her hand free from the zombie girl's chest, her gaze turning cold. As she scanned the hall, she snapped her fingers elegantly. Those vampire servants, who were as strong as evil spirits, didn't even get a chance to move before they turned to bloody dust. A breeze swept up the dust, sending it over to the castle's thorns. Nestled among the black rose bush, those blooming black roses looked even more stunning and fragrant now. No morals at all. No one knows. Black Rose, Count of the Vampires. Rose Castle. In just a moment, all the vampire servants inside became fertilizer for the roses. Tracing back the reason, it all happened because of a single drop of blood. If word got out, most monsters in the horror world would probably find it funny gossip. But among vampires, it would trigger a huge storm. Count Rose knows very well. Only vampires can truly understand the obsession with blood. So to avoid trouble and cut off any future risks, Count Rose showed no mercy and wiped out all the servants in the castle. Big Sis Rose, you're so cruel. The servants who took care of you all this time, you just killed them off. Not like me. I treated my old servants great. Yeah, you sure treated your servants the best. After all, you had them buried with you. The eyes of the tall one and the little one met. It's like sparks flying in the air. Not gonna argue with you. You don't even know what loyalty means. I don't get loyalty, but I know how to keep people in line. Unlike you. Some of your servants woke up first, but instead of waking you up, they just ran away. Such loyal servants, huh? Zombie lowly, you. What he hates most in life? Is that after Count Rose got him drunk? He spilled his own embarrassing past, which Count Rose has used to tease him for years. That's why the zombie lowly is always on a mission to dig up dirt on Count Rose. Black hearts make black-hearted friends. Totally normal. Life's tough when a zombie's dark secrets get mentioned. Unless she digs up something just as bad. Zombie lowly can never flip the script. Punish Count Rose. In a quiet, tucked-away office in Ward 5 of the 3rd Hospital. Few people around. Yin Chang and Lena fell into deep thought. The ghoul stood still, quietly at the side, like a mountain. A single drop of blood offered from the movie city activated the magic circle. The blood bead vanished, but nothing else happened. It was like the thing crashed. Yin Chang felt like he could connect with Count Rose through that circle. But it's like calling someone, and all you get is a busy tone. Can't get through. Of course, he had no idea. Because he used the magic circle too soon, Count Rose's castle was cleansed completely, and even Count Rose's evil bestie noticed him. Before making a deal with the zombie lowly, Count Rose wouldn't dare contact Yin Chang easily. Otherwise, if Yin Chang let anything slip, the zombie lowly would mock him forever. Yin Chang and Lena waited in silence. Minutes passed by. No progress. In the greedy ghost's and He's plan, Count Rose was the key piece, and the only real player Yin Chang could count on. Time dragged on, awkward and tense, second by second. Finally, the blood-red magic circle started glowing weirdly, and projected Count Rose's elegant face. Beside him was a cute lowly, like a porcelain doll. Your daughter's already this big? When he saw that, Yin Chang couldn't help himself, and blurted it out. In a flash on the screen, Count Rose was laughing so hard she almost fell over. Her curves drew all the attention, like a beautiful landscape. That zombie lowly was delicate and adorable. Her face like fine china suddenly went totally dark. She started flipping out, baring her teeth, claws out furious, her sharp fangs glinting coldly. If Count Rose wasn't grabbing her from behind, she might have rushed over to the hospital on the spot. and had a life or death talk with Yin Chang.
Yin Chang coughed awkwardly.
And quickly used his inside eye. Suddenly he stiffened. Jiangling, lord of weightlessness, zombie. Friendliness. Your words cut him deep. Power, bloody clothed fierce ghost. Don't be fooled by her size. That little body hides dangerous force. Likes blood, moonlight, sleeping, money, weakness, scared of pure sunlight. If Yin triggers Yang, things will turn around. She could become the top of all zombies. Current status. Looks crazy angry, fuming, baring fangs. But inside, completely cold and calm. He is just using this chance to test Count Rose's relationship with you. And he has some guesses now. Be careful. A millennia-old zombie has her eyes on you. If I apologize now, is it too late? Yin Chang gave a bitter smile inside. He just couldn't stop himself from making a snarky comment. And ended up getting targeted by an ancient zombie. Thank God Jiangling can't read his mind. Otherwise, she'd probably go from fake rage to real berserk. And chase Yin Chang nonstop. Age is always a sensitive issue for female-looking folks. A nickname like Ancient Zombie. Even Count Rose never dared to use it on her evil bestie. Sorry, my mistake. Beautiful, lovely lady. I offer my sincerest apology. Dignity and such. Yin Chang doesn't have it. And if he did, he could toss it any time. When he saw how strong Zhang Ling was, he bowed his head and apologized right away. A man's knees are golden, but his pride is in only lumbar discs. If he had them, Yin Chang would gladly sell them for supplies and trade them for survival goods. In this world taken over by horror games, he saw too many brutal stories. Dignity just doesn't matter compared to staying alive. All right, tell me. Why are you contacting me so soon? Don't tell me. You already made the first batch of medicine. Yin Chang's finger couldn't help but tremble. Even his legs felt weak. No. The first batch is still being prepared. The real reason I called you is to share a good chance to make money. That's all. Yin Chang just went with the flow and told her his plan. No reason to hide it. Yin Chang told Count Rose everything he did. He told her the whole story. With her status, she probably wouldn't care what happens to the third hospital. He wouldn't care how greedy he is.
Anyway,
That has nothing to do with Count Rose himself. But ghost arms are the hard currency of this world. After all, in the plan Yin Chang told him, he just needs to speak up a bit to make a quick profit just by moving his lips. He can earn piles of dark ghost coins. Why wouldn't he do it? As Yin Chang expected, after hearing the plan, Count Rose looked at him like, nice job, kid. Stared at him for a moment, then easily agreed. He even gave his castle's phone number to Lena for easier coordination. However, during the planning phase, there was a tiny little hiccup. The cute zombie lowly, Xianglinger, insisted on joining the plan and managed to get a big cut. The reason was simple. Jiang Ling happened to have a very greedy side. As a master, she naturally had plenty of resources. Coincidentally, Jiang Ling had the corpse of a blood-clothed zombie. The appearance of this body changed the original plan of relying only on the Count's status to trick He Yi into trusting them. It directly turned into using a blood-clothed zombie arm as bait, making the plan totally flawless. As for splitting the loot, they went with a 4-3-3 split. Though Jiang Ling joined late, she provided the bait, making success almost guaranteed. So her taking 40% of the profits wasn't an issue at all. As for Count Rose, Yin Chang used his influence to set it up, to build a good relationship, and slow down his treatment. Yin Chang generously gave him 30%. The remaining 30% went to Yin Chang. Lena felt she hadn't contributed much, so she refused a cut. Yin Chang knew what she was thinking, so he didn't fuss. He just accepted Lena's kindness. Survival is the top priority now. Every bit of profit increases his chances of survival. I can pay back the favor later. Having no shame at all, he was ready to be an undead knight. On the way back to the hospital lobby, the passing ghost patients looked at Yin Chang with a hint of respect. No greed like they show to humans. Praised by the blood count and showing off his medical skills. plus his king's charm talent. The patients in the hospital naturally had no hostility toward him. Walking along, Yin Chang was getting used to being surrounded by ghosts. However, on his way to the director's office, 3 figures with missing limbs and smelling of blood blocked his path. Save us. Please save us. Without any hesitation, the 3 struggling female players knelt down right in front of him. Even though one only had one leg left, the one whose tongue Lena cut off wasn't there, most likely dead at the hands of ghosts. Help us. If you're willing to save us, we'll pay any price. We're not asking for much. We just want to live. Their miserable begging was heart-wrenching. For anyone watching, many ghosts seeing this scene were actually moved. Some ghosts had past lives too. They were once weak humans, so they could empathize. But most just stood and watched. Yin Chang is now a celebrity here. He has quite an influence. If he really spoke up to protect them, the ghosts would gladly show him respect. After all, in his current role, he's a famous doctor with magic hands. Any ghost coming to this hospital has some kind of ailment. Risking offending Yin Chang just to target a few weak humans? Better to do him a favor instead. Why not? This world isn't just about killing. Social connections still matter. Facing the 3 weeping women, kneeling miserably before him, Yin Chang remained calm. He just looked at them quietly, thinking something over. A moment later, his plan became even more refined. Follow me. Leaving only that, Yin Chang led Lena and the ghoul straight back to his clinic. He didn't go to the director's office first. That guy is overwhelmed right now and has no time for me anyway. Hearing this, the 3 women cried tears of joy. Thanking him profusely, they quickly followed him
Inside the clinic.
For now, you guys stay here. No ghost will dare attack you here. Yin Chang sat in his chair, back to the 3 women, looking out the window, wondering what he was thinking. Thank you. Thank you. The players thanked him again, huddling together, trembling. The terror never left their faces, stinking and covered in black slime. The hideous ghoul seemed very interested in them. It stared at them from nearby, with its hollow dark eyes. Lena toyed with a sharp scalpel, watching them with a playful look. Ignore them. Let's continue discussing how to get that blood-clothed wraith arm from Count Rose's collection. Yin Chang turned his back, gave Lena a look, and said on purpose. Lena might be love-struck, but she was sharp and calm. She immediately caught on. She looked away and pulled the clinic's curtain, blocking the 3 women out, acting very cautious. Yin Chang gave a thumbs up, praising Lena's performance. He lowered his voice purposefully to talk with Lena, behind the curtain, without the ghouls and nurses' intense stares. They finally looked less terrified. A strange look appeared in their eyes, especially after hearing the words, blood-clothed wraith arm, combined with the curtain closing. The 3 looked at each other and leaned in to eavesdrop. One side of the curtain, Yin Chang acted naturally, speaking just loud enough for the 3 players to barely overhear. He was deliberately talking with Lena about buying the blood-clad ghost's arm, going over the details. He even mentioned big clients, reselling and making a lot of money. After a short while, with a look from Yin Chang, Lena swiftly pulled back the curtain. The 3 female players huddled together in fear, pretending to be unconscious from fright and blood loss, their bodies barely trembling. Lena acted like she didn't see anything. I'll go get ready.
Take care of yourself.
And whatever you do, don't let director he catch you. About all this. Got it. He nodded slightly. After that special reminder, Lena finally turned and left. The door opened, and the patients of 3rd Hospital waiting outside in a long line immediately showed a look of anticipation. Go on in. Dr. Min Cheng is free now. Remember to keep order. Lena glanced at the well-organized ghosts, but still couldn't help adding coldly, got it. The hanged ghost at the front drooped his long tongue and forced a smile on his stiff face, trying to act understanding. Lena gave a slight nod, then floated away. Yin Chang looked at the incoming patient and instantly activated Inside Eye. 3rd Hospital patient species, hanged ghost. Current status. He's been troubled by his stiffening tongue for ages. Sadly, none of the hospital's doctors could help. A long tongue is the hanged ghost's deadliest weapon. But getting stiffer makes him weaker, so he's extra frustrated. Solution: nethergrass and rotten flesh flour, all simmered together to tenderize the ghost flesh. Doctor, is there hope for my tongue? Is my tongue still savable? Once Yin Chang finished the check, the hanged ghost asked impatiently, "No big deal, I can fix it. Just remember this prescription. Go get the medicine yourself and simmer it up. After you take it, you'll be good as new." Without hesitation, Yin Chang gave the prescription to the hanged ghost. "Thank you, miracle doctor." The hanged ghost was overwhelmed. He'd visited one hospital after another in the nightmare world, but no one could fix his tongue. But here with Yin Chang, just a simple prescription solved the problem easily. How could he not be excited? As for whether it really works, with the Marquis of Rose's reputation, even if it didn't help,
He'd still blame himself instead.
in this terrifying world, the blood-clad ghost's aura still works great on all the little ghosts. Dr. Yin, I've already paid for my appointment. But here, take a little extra, just as a token of thanks. As Yin Chang was about to see him out, the hanged ghost pulled a small stack of ghost coins from his robe and pushed them softly in front of Yin Chang. He kept a flattering smile on his face. "Dear patient, you're really tempting me to do something wrong, huh?" Yin Chang squinted slightly, speaking with meaning, but the hanged ghost is no fool, so of course he got the hint. "Oops, my bad." The hanged ghost slapped his forehead. "This ghost arm, I just picked it up from the ground. And I'm sure it's yours, doctor, right?" Yin Chang nodded in satisfaction. "What I like most is honest folks like you who return lost things. And I enjoy making friends with upright spirits. The more friends, the better. From now on, we're friends. I might not help with everything, but when it comes to medicine, you can count on me. Thank you so much, Dr. Yin." The hanged ghost's smile grew even brighter. He was set on winning Dr. Yin over. So hearing this made him truly happy. "Oh, by the way, make sure to let the others waiting outside know. I'm a doctor with standards, so let's not try anything shady, okay?" Before leaving, Yin Chang made sure to remind the hanged ghost. The hanged ghost understood perfectly. He patted his chest. "No problem, Dr. Yin." I get it. Yin Chang watched with appreciation. As the hanged ghost left, he couldn't help but think, it's not all about fighting. Life is about relationships too. People business, not just killing and chaos. "Next one," he called out, at the same time glancing over at the three girls huddled together, pretending to be unconscious in their seats. His eyes flickered with an unreadable look. The path is paved now. How they walk it is up to them. Some roads look wide and smooth, but there might be a cliff ahead. Fall, and it's game over. Others look bumpy, rough as can be, yet they're the ones you can get through safely. You actually make it. The next patient was a headless ghost. Yin Chang didn't say much, and started the checkup right away. With the inside eye, his diagnosis speed was insanely fast. Maybe the hanged ghost spread the word, because from then on, every ghost that came in would, before they left, just so happen to find some ghost coins and return them to Yin Chang. No doubt about it. In this clinic, the only one who could drop coins was Yi. In half an hour, Yin Chang had lost almost 1,000 ghost coins. That's more than what some players earn from a bunch of missions combined. He also made a lot of new ghost friends along the way. Everyone got what they wanted. It was all smooth sailing. When the 24th ghost patient was just about to step in, Yin Chang's eyes flickered, a bit of coldness in his pupils. The three girls who'd been faking it finally woke up, just as Yi was about to treat the next patient. Boss Yin, we just realized we still have our own tasks to finish. It's safe here with you, but if we can't complete them, we won't get back to the real world. You're so busy, and it means a lot to be protected here, so we're super grateful. But we can't ask for more. We need to go finish our missions. Hopefully, there's a chance we'll come back." Another girl tried to sound all sad too. "Go on." The three didn't say much more, just thanked him again, and left arm in arm. The door clicked shut. They stepped out of Third Hospital's waiting room. The quiet set in again. And outside, the three human girls no longer looked thankful or respectful. Their faces now totally different. Full-on envy and greed in their eyes. Didn't even try to cover it up. That guy Yin Chang.
He clearly has the power to protect us perfectly.
He could make our job really easy. But he doesn't want to help us at all. If that's the case, then we can't be blamed for what we're about to do. One of the three women had blood on her face, but you could still see she was pretty. Her only arm left, clenched in a tight fist. She gritted her teeth and spoke. The hatred in her voice was unreal. Why does he get to have such an easy life? Just sitting there, raking in piles of ghost coins. He could help us out. Give us some of those ghost coins. Help us leave better. But he refuses, just sits back and watches, acting all fake and righteous.
He's already lost his way.
He's human, but hangs out with ghosts. Doesn't care at all when his own kind die. He's the one who really deserves to die. Why can someone like him have it so good in this horror world? His phony mercy means nothing to us. That's actually his biggest weakness. No way he'll ever guess. We dare to sell out his secret to the ghosts. The three women glanced at each other, and in each other's eyes, they saw the misery awaiting Yin Chang, and a cruel smile appeared on their lips. Yin Chang will never know. The three women he saved actually hate him this much. Even if he found out, he wouldn't care. Someone like him doesn't deserve sympathy. In a world full of trickery, even Yin City is used to it. In the back room, the three women whispered for a long time. Finally, they gritted their teeth and decided to sell out Yin City and Lena's secret to that crane-robed boss. They're going to trade it for a big enough reward from him, plus a safe ticket back to the living world. Pretty ridiculous when you think about it. Yin Chang protected them, gave them a chance to live, and instead of being grateful, they got even more resentful and jealous. They'd rather trust a ghost, put their hopes in a ghost, than just chill out and quietly go back to the human world. Yin Chang offered them a chance to keep quiet and survive. Too bad they didn't appreciate it. Boom! Director. There were loud crashes from the office, one after another, making the werewolf doctor who led the way twitch at the corner of his eye. You'd better make sure this so-called info is actually worth something. It needs to calm the boss's rage. Otherwise, the werewolf doctor didn't finish. But his killing intent made the three women tremble. Knock, knock. Who is it? Inside the office, the crane master's angry voice came out. It's me, director. I have important information to report. The werewolf doctor hurriedly replied. Information? Come in, then. The werewolf doctor led the three human players in. The office was a mess. Crane master, who usually looked perfect, even had cracks on his glasses. What information? He sat on a half-broken chair, staring at them coldly. What information? His tone was icy and dangerous. He'd pulled every string he could to try to fix the Ralph the Stitcher mess. But nothing was working. He was right on the edge of losing it. Otherwise, he probably would have asked the werewolf doctor why he brought humans inside. But right now, he just couldn't care. Spit out whatever you know. The werewolf doctor quickly urged them.
Director.
If you want this info, fine. But we need something in return. Because this secret involves a blood-robed fiend-level monster. The players were scared, but still had a little sense left. They hit the main point to grab Crane Master's attention. And sure enough, just the words blood-robed fiend made all his pain shrink away instantly. A few minutes later, the werewolf doctor licked blood from his lips, his eyes pleased as he left the office. The office stank of blood. Well, Dr. Yin Chang. Well, Nurse Lena. You're real go-getters, huh? I'm here stressing and scared, ready to risk it all. And you're planning a big score instead. The blood-robed fiend's arm is a huge draw, even for ordinary red-robed fiends, let alone for freaks like Ralph. Those damn humans think that just because they've caught the Rose Count's eye, they can do whatever they want? Crane Master was secretly burning with jealousy and greed like never before. The fiend's arm is worth at least hundreds of thousands of ghost coins, maybe even 1 million. That's a crazy number. A number no money-hungry ghost can resist. He's been sneaking around Third Hospital, pulling strings for ages, and barely managed to scrape together 1,000,000 ghost coins. Ghost coins are insanely valuable. It's rare to even see 1,000,000 or more. Most players are rich if they've got a few thousand. But that lucky little human, all because of the rose count, might just make a fortune no problem. How could a greedy ghost like Crane Master be okay with that? The worst thing for a greedy ghost is seeing a golden chance right in front of him, but not being able to get in on it. Yin Chang survived a string of impossible missions he issued and came out alive. Crane Master isn't stupid, so even he can see Yin Chang isn't ordinary, no matter how bad he wants to get rid of him. Thanks to the rose count, on the surface, he wouldn't dare make a move on Yin Chang. But now Crane Yi's attitude toward him has done a total 180. 1,000,000 ghost coin deals on the horizon. There's no way he'll just let it slip away. At the very least, until he's cashed in, he can't even think about killing Yin Chang.
Actually,
He's got to treat Yin Chang like royalty. Since on the Rose Count's side, only Yin Chang can talk to them, even with piles of cash. Without a go-between, he'd just be stuck watching. Thinking about that, he felt a rush of frustration. Since when does a top-level fiend have to beg a weak human for help? Just wait, after this deal is done, you're dead for sure. A cruel grin showed on Crane Yi's gloomy face as he wiped up some fresh blood from the table and licked it with pleasure. Outside consultant Dr. Yin Chang's office, the line of monster patients is still as long as ever. First, there was the example of the Rose Earl. Then came those who got a cure from Dr. Yin Chang. They rushed to buy meds at the third hospital right after.
eager monsters tried them out.
No doubt the cures worked like a charm. So now, even the skeptical monster patients feel totally reassured. One after another, they joined Dr. Yin Chang's line outside. In this long line, some of the wealthier monsters start spending ghost coins to buy spots from those ahead. In the line, you could say Dr. Yin's reputation is now legendary at Third Hospital. But outside the other doctors' offices, it's deserted, not even a single feather. The Green Alchemist, Plague Doctor, and the rest all stand at their doors fuming. Their frustration shows all over their faces. Stealing their business, cutting off their income, is basically unforgivable. No one can stand this type of situation. Right now, they want Yin Chang gone even more than he does. Director, you're finally here. Please, do something.
If this keeps up,
None of us doctors will have any work left to do. The moment Yi appears at the corner, the quick-mouthed doctor moves fast and shows up at Yi's side immediately. He lowers his voice to complain. The rest of the doctors give each other sympathetic looks, but they never expected. Don't blame others if you lack skills. Patients trust Dr. Yin. Not you guys. Shouldn't you be reflecting on yourselves? Yi snorts coldly, looking disappointed in them.
He scolds the plague doctor angrily.
Listen up, everyone. Hear that sarcasm? If they didn't know Yi's character, they might really think he's some selfless hero. But everyone's a seasoned fox here. Are you kidding with these tricks now? Who was it that first suggested recommending Rose Earl to that human doctor, trying to get others to do the dirty work? And now suddenly, what? Ate the wrong medicine today? After Yi scoffed, he ignored them and headed straight for Yin Chang's office. All the doctors were left scratching their heads, confused as ever. Yin Chang, taking a pulse for a drowned ghost, heard a knock on the door. He smiled slightly at the corner of his mouth. Looks like the bait worked. Before Yin Chang could react, Yi barged in, not caring if he was seeing a patient. Yin Chang acted annoyed on the outside, but was secretly laughing inside. The more anxious Yi is, the more it shows his greedy heart is already hooked by me. Director you're a doctor too, so you should know interrupting a consult is pretty rude, Yin Chang said coldly, with Lena right behind him. He wasn't nervous at all. Sorry, I was a bit forward. But Dr. Yin, be careful choosing friends. Your 3 human buddies just came by and told me a little secret. Before he finished, Yin Chang's face turned grim. Lena behind him looked ready to kill, gritting her teeth in anger. Patient, please step out for a while. I have some private business to discuss with Dr. Yin. The drowned ghost glanced at Yin Chang, obviously asking if he needed help. Just go out for now. Your illness isn't serious. Come back after my talk with Director He. That's all you need. Seeing this, the ghost left the office. The moment he stepped out, he snapped out an old copper coin. Instantly, the air filled with a weird, foul stench. Director He, what are you up to? Yin Chang frowned, pinching his nose without hesitation. He didn't care about saving face for He Yi. Just a little trick. The smell blocks snooping. We don't need others overhearing, right? Director He, just say what you want. No point beating around the bush. I like how direct you are. Those 3 traitorous humans, I already handled them for you. Take that as my buy-in. That's my way in. Now let's talk business for real. No need to hide intentions. He didn't even bother to hide he wanted a piece.
Director He.
You've been the number 2 at 3rd Hospital for years. You must know. Some things aren't for just anyone to get involved with. True, the Rose Earl connection is your hard-earned link, Dr. Yin. I've got to admit, that's beyond me. But still, he fiddled with the coin, a smile spreading across his face. Working with the Rose Earl, how much do you really get? You're a newbie. Lena's just a nurse at 3rd Hospital. How many ghost coins do you 2 have together? Is it really enough to buy the nearly million-coin evil ghost arm, which is nearly priceless? Think about it. I'm not your enemy. I just want to do a win-win deal with you. After he said that much, Yin Chang and Lena relaxed a bit, thinking he made some sense.
Director He.
Tell us what this win-win deal is? After a short silence, Yin Chang spoke up. He mocked them in his heart. Kids are always impatient. Mr. Ralph has real money. Everyone at 3rd Hospital knows that. So you got in on Rose Earl's circle. But you're only middlemen, right? Just connecting people and getting crumbs from Rose Earl. Yin Chang and Lena kept quiet, acting as if they agreed. His smile grew wider. With such an opportunity, why let Rose Earl take most of the cut? Haven't you thought of claiming more for yourselves?
His tone
Was almost bewitching. The copper coin in his hand glowed slightly. Some strange force began to tug at Yin Chang and Lena's hearts, stirring up endless greed within them. Too bad. Lena's a red-eyed ghost and also has a special status. These little tricks on purpose are totally useless in front of him. Outside of consultant Dr. Yin Chang's office, time ticks by second, since the drowned ghost left the consultation room until now. The patients lining up in a long queue are clearly on the verge of rioting. The drowned ghost has pretty much become the ringleader here. Standing guard at the consultation room door, his wet hair hangs down limply, looking more anxious and impatient by the minute. Since He entered the office, it's already been 30 minutes. They've tried all sorts of tricks to eavesdrop, and even tried to force open the door. But all attempts failed, no exceptions.
He's moves, as a top-ranked fierce ghost, work pretty well.
Most of these guys are just wandering spirits, so of course they can't do much against a powerful ghost. For regular humans, any ghost is deadly enough, whether they're specters, fiends, or stronger. There's really no difference. But among ghosts, the gap in rank isn't something you can just cross. In some ways, the terror world is a lot like the human world. Most people in the human world are just ordinary folks. The ones who really have power and wealth are always the minority. And in the terror world, most ghosts are really just low-level specters or fiends. The true top-tier ghosts, like the Count of Roses, or monsters like Ralph, are a very tiny fraction compared to the massive number of ghosts. They're rare, super rare. So to force He to back off Dr. Yin, their only shot is to team up and stir up enough chaos in the 3rd Hospital to intimidate him. After all, for a hospital with a decent reputation in the terror world, their name really matters. If things get out of hand, and the shareholders behind the 3rd Hospital show up, even He couldn't take that kind of heat. Last 3 minutes. If the consultation room isn't open by then, let's start raising hell. The drowned ghost really acts like a leader now. He throws up his arm to rally the crowd, and all the ghosts behind him shout in agreement.
Damn it.
It's taken forever to see hope of fixing our problems. If that jerk, he dares touch Dr. Yin, even a single hair will make him pay.
Right, guys.
Damn right, let's go. Go get him, get he ye. The crowd of ghosts is now totally fired up. Everyone's pumped. For anything else, they'd probably never be this hyped. But now that it involves actually curing their own issues, well, it's no wonder they're like this. What a scene. Making the doctors in the other consult rooms shiver with fear. They hide inside, afraid to come out and stop anyone. Even the mighty, burly, tiger-headed ghost security guard slipped away who knows where. Suddenly, a loud click, just as all the ghosts are counting down and getting ready to party. The door to the consultation room opens. What shocks everyone is that Yi and Dr. Yin walk out together, chatting and laughing.
Take care, Director He.
I've got a lot of patients left to see, so I won't walk you out. No problem, I'm good. Don't worry about me, but remember to get in touch with Mr. Ralph before tonight. Leave that to me. A golden gleam flashes in his eyes as he calculates in his mind. No problem, hope we can work well together, Director He. Looking forward to it. A strange glint flickers in his eyes, but his smile stays put. Once he leaves, outside the office, the rowdy ghosts suddenly fall silent. Since Yin Chang is fine, they have no more reason to cause trouble. The third hospital quickly returns to order. Dr. Yin didn't give you any trouble, did he? The drowned ghost steps into the consultation room. Still can't help but ask. No worries, it's fine. Yin Chang shakes his head with a smile. Good. But Dr. Yin, you should be careful. Director, he isn't someone to mess with. Thanks for the heads up. For the rest of the time, Yin Chang uses his eye of insight skill with a speed the other ghost doctors can't even imagine. Speed running consultations, while the other ghost doctors can only grit their teeth and stare at the consultant's office door, wishing they'd get called in. So much pain, who can I even talk to? Time passes quietly. There's no daylight or night in the terror world. The sky is always gloomy and scary. Dark clouds twist and snarl like monstrous faces, giving off a suffocating vibe. Inside the consultation room, after sending off the last patient for today, Yin Chang stretches lazily, gently hugs Lena, and shares some treasured moments. Just one person and two ghosts. The corpse-eating ghoul isn't that smart and doesn't understand anything, just follows him around as a bodyguard, so naturally gets ignored. Yin Chang himself is already on the path to becoming a death knight, so having another clueless ghoul watching from the side really doesn't matter anymore.
He hasn't even started his class change quest anyway. Has he?
Do I need to do anything about Ralph's side? A blush flashes on his pale face. Still not used to this, he quickly changes the subject to distract himself. No need. The more you do, the more likely you mess up. With Ralph, we never told him a thing about the arm of the blood-clothed fiend. When Ralph figures out he's been tricked by Yi,
His anger
will only land on Yi. Nothing to do with us. Right? Speaking of which, Yin Chang's smile gets even brighter. If Yi decides to drag us down with him in the end, trying to take us all out together, honestly, for us, there's really no downside. It may even be a big plus. A plus? How could that be a plus? The blood-clothed fiend's corpse belongs to the black-hearted dame, Count of Rose's best friend, the zombie queen Jiangling. If Ralph really wants it, we just help him connect with her. Let them negotiate. After all, Ralph is a big client, and he's got strong backers from the blood-clothed fiend's camp.
He'd pay a high price for it. And us.
If we just act as matchmakers, we could earn some goodwill from this VIP. And his connections too, right? Yin Chang gets it. Since Jiangling brought up the blood-clothed fiend's corpse herself, it means the body doesn't actually mean all that much to her. Otherwise, for something so rare, there's no worry about theft, just about someone obsessing over it, right? So if Yi goes down, afterwards, if Ralph still wants the blood-clothed fiend's arm, Yin Chang can negotiate with the Count's bestie and go with the flow. Do Ralph a favor. Why not? The terror world isn't just about killing. It's also all about who you know. Embraced by a chill like natural air conditioning and the soft, comfy job transfer book, Yin Chang felt more amazing than ever. His head gently rested on the job transfer book's shoulder. enjoying a rare, peaceful moment. He didn't know if it was because he'd turned into a vampire. The ghost mist creeping out was supposed to have a strong aura that harms the living, but it didn't seem to affect him anymore. After a whole day of being worn out, Yin Chang hugged the job transfer book and fell asleep peacefully. Lena saw this and seemed to recall something. A slight smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. She gently wrapped her arms around Yin Chang's head. Her movements were extremely gentle. If this scene was seen in the real world, people would be stunned on the spot. Yin Chang would become a living tycoon. Yeah, he might become a legend. He'd be remembered forever. The horror game brought too much death to humanity. So much pain and despair. The terror of monsters, their strange power, and their cruel, unpredictable ways left humans with scars that are too deep and harsh. He didn't know how long he'd slept. Yin Chang felt his legs a bit numb. When he opened his eyes, the first thing he saw was Lena's stunning, seductive face. For a moment, the ancient dragon inside him seemed grouchy, like waking up. It instantly flipped in fury. Two thick, round snakes had never experienced such sudden movement. They instantly shuddered and curled up, not daring to move. Dragon presence filled the air. Dragon breath burned hot. The temperature in the clinic soared quickly. A dull, awkward sound came from Yin Chang's stomach. It broke the tense, strange atmosphere. Yin Chang, you must be hungry. You haven't eaten all day. I'll go get you something to eat. She left, carrying a cool, fragrant breeze. He helplessly patted his stomach. He had no choice but to fill up first. A few minutes later, Lena came in carrying a big plate of wheat bread, along with a small glass of milk. Sorry. There's not much humans can eat in a horror world. This is all the third hospital has. It's fine. I'm just glad to have food, compared to other players. I don't even know how lucky I am. Yin Chang isn't picky. He grabbed the rough wheat bread and stuffed it in his mouth. One after another, he ate faster and faster, devouring like a wolf. His eyes started to turn red. Something's off here. Lena quickly noticed his strange behavior. The bread she gave him could easily fill up any adult. Even with another person, it'd still be enough. But looking at Yin Chang, he kept eating one after another. He seemed to get crazier with each bite weight. Lena's eyes shifted. She thought of something. She hurriedly grabbed Yin Chang. Yin Chang kept chewing like crazy, muttering unclearly with food in his mouth. His eyes were totally blood red now. Awakened, he actually awakened. This happened way too fast. Too suddenly, really. Lena was stunned by Yin Chang's talent. Her face blanked out. Her death angel identity let her know a lot of special info. Initial vampire turning isn't as simple as making minion vampires. Those turned by vampire bite usually need a long period to merge and settle. They might even die before fully turning into real vampires. Meanwhile, the one being turned will also awaken their unique bloodline and talent powers. Gugu sensed trouble. The restless ghoul let out an anxious roar. Yin Chang is his only friend. He doesn't want anything bad to happen to him. Wait, don't worry. He's fine, just his bloodline woke up. Lena looked at the jumping ghoul and helplessly said a line. But it didn't help at all. The ghoul isn't too smart. It took a lot of effort to make it understand even a bit. Lena saw this and could only helplessly shrug. Ghost energy filled the room, directly pinning the ghoul in place. Water, I need water. Get me water. Yin Chang now felt like he was about to ascend. Every blood vessel in his body, every drop of blood, every single blood molecule felt alive, rushing chaotically inside him. His heart was like an engine, beating super fast, so quick and so heavy. It seemed to make everything in the room vibrate, shaking everywhere. Water. Yin Chang murmured unconsciously. Where his canine teeth used to be were now two sharp, long fangs. Lena understood right away. Yin Chang didn't really need water. He needed blood. And for the first awakening, quality matters. The better the blood, then the new vampire might develop rare bloodlines and stronger power. What do I do? What do I do? Where am I supposed to get the right blood now? Thinking of the details of bloodline awakening, Lena began to panic. If she could, she wouldn't mind donating her own blood. But whether her soul form, or as a death angel, she belonged to the ghostly kind. So Lena didn't have any blood. She wanted to help but couldn't. Wait, Count Rose. He should have a way. Seeing Yin Chang getting more uncomfortable, Lena's eyes shifted, and she thought of the culprit, Count Rose. Just as she was about to use the clinic phone to contact him, an extremely bizarre vibe filled the clinic. A sinister, creepy aura instantly covered every corner. Lena's ideal death angel almost triggered instantly. As soon as the aura appeared, like an automatic reflex, it activated by itself. Her wings grayed, her deep eyes turned ghostly white. Death's aura spread out. Luckily, she stayed rational. She glanced toward the aura's source, shocked by what she saw. She didn't know when, but in Yin Chang's palm, a dark red blood bead had appeared. All the weird, uneasy vibes were coming from that blood bead. Just one look at it, Lena felt that there was something twisted and bizarre inside the bead. Struggling and creepy laughter, trying to break out of the bead, almost bursting free. Yin Chang's blood-red eyes. He stared hard at that dark red drop of blood in his palm. His whole body surged with vampire power, and a chilling kingly aura, blending wildly in a strange way. The bloodline power that used to rage inside him touched the blood bead in that instant, and suddenly flowed to its home like a stream, all being absorbed within. Lena's gray death angel wings trembled slightly. He could clearly sense the power hidden within that drop could easily tear apart a top-tier vengeful spirit. Even blood-robed ghosts would lose control and become lost souls if touched by this. But this terrifying power was unbelievably gentle toward Hidden, like a killer that's been tamed, only giving off a faint black aura around him. Congratulations, player Hidden, you awakened the King's Temptation talent and completed the ultimate evolution. Unlock the exclusive authority Undead Dominion. Congratulations, player Hidden, you gained true vampire royal blood and merged it with King's authority. Unlocked the unique class, Undead Healer God. As an Undead Healer God, heal wandering souls with medical skills. Subdue evil spirits with authority. Hold absolute power over all undead type and vampire type ghosts. Healing effects on non-human creatures are boosted by 300%. Can gain faith by healing lost souls. Strengthen your own domain. The system notification rang out again and again. Yin Chang slowly clenched his fist. That mysterious blood bead merged into his bloodline. The turbulence from his bloodline awakening vanished instantly, replaced by an unmatched sensitivity to undead souls nearby.
He could even clearly hear throughout the third hospital.
The souls who'd been tortured, screaming in pain and helplessness. It's almost time. Yin Chang glanced out the window. Blood-red moonlight piercing the heavy clouds. Just hitting midnight. A cold smile appeared at the corner of his lips.
Yi, time to restore yourself.
The third-floor morgue basement had long been covered by Yin Chang's trap. Yi clutching to himself. The million ghost coins he'd scraped together from the hospital brought several vengeful ghosts he bribed.
His eyes full of greedy red light.
Step by step into this land of death. He thought he was about to get the blood-robed ghost's arm and rocket straight to the top. Little did he know, he'd walked right into a grave custom built for him by Yin Chang. Yin Chang, where's the stuff?
Yi stared right at the black case beside Yin Chang.
Ghostly aura swirled around. He was clearly ready to backstab and run. Yin Chang raised his hand calmly. The case slowly opened. Inside, it was the blood-robed ghost's arm Jingling provided. An arm. The heavy moisture and bloody energy filled the room, making Yi's breath quicken. Director you got enough money? You should know how much this is worth better than me. Of course I brought the cash, Yi sneered. And his ghostly blade flashed out, unleashing top-level ghostly power without holding back. But this arm, and your life today, all belong to me. Several vengeful ghost followers attacked at once. But just as their path was about to touch Yin Chang, black rune marks flared around him. Undead Dominion was unleashed. In name of the Undead Healer God, a cold voice echoed. Those attacking ghost followers were instantly frozen in place. The murderous light in their eyes turned to pure terror. The ghost aura inside them spun helplessly. Their soul energy was now under Yin Chang's authority, collapsing bit by bit. Impossible. How do you have soul-controlling power? He Yi's face turned pale, his eyes full of utter shock. At that moment, two terrifying pressures landed at once. Count Rose covered the room with his blood aura, completely sealing off the morgue. Jiang Ling's golden eyes glared coldly at He Yi. The pressure from two area bosses crushed He Yi to the floor, leaving him too weak to even lift a hand. But the most despairing thing for He Yi was his top client, Ralph, whom he had tried to rope in, also walked out of the shadows, his monstrous patched-up body full of rage. You use my name, selling the third hospital corpses without permission, and even tried to trick me with a fake blood-robed arm. You're really asking to die. Ralph's voice sounded like grinding stone. Every word made He Yi's ghost body tremble. Yin Chang walked up to Yi. Eye of Judgment saw all his crimes at once. He said flatly, you imprisoned the director and drained his soul power just to break into the blood-red realm. You tortured and profited off dozens of human players, selling their bodies for gain. You set up a portal in the gluttonous ghost's stomach, kept ghouls in the morgue to handle your evidence, every single crime. What excuse do you have left? He Yi's face was lifeless. He knew he'd completely lost, but his greedy ghost nature still sparked a crazy idea at the edge of death. He yanked hard, unleashing all his schemes built up for years, trying to blow up all the corpses in the morgue, dragging the whole third hospital with him. If I die, I'm taking you all to hell with me. But his madness was just child's play in front of Yin Chang. Yin Chang flicked his hand. That bead of unspeakable power, fused with innate skills, shot out, and instantly became a huge black magic circle, covering the whole morgue. The raging ghost aura and resentment were all sucked into the circle. The souls he'd tortured gave out tight cries within the formation, and were all released by Yin Chang's healing power. You'll pay for your crimes in blood. Yin Chang's gaze was ice cold, without a trace of pity. As Lena's scalpel flashed, He Yi didn't even have time to scream. His ghost form got erased instantly by the Death Angel's power, leaving behind only the director's badge that grants hospital access, and the million ghost coins amassed from a lifetime of greed. Congrats, player Yin Chang, for killing the mastermind He Yi, saving the captive director of the third hospital, and completing the chain of hidden quests. Mission rated, perfect. With He Yi's fall, the crisis at the third hospital was finally resolved. Yin Chang found his way to the underground chamber, where the director was held captive, and used his undead healer skills to restore the director's lost soul power. The old director looked at this young human before him, his eyes full of gratitude and admiration. Under the watch of every ghost in the hospital, he personally passed on the third hospital's leadership into Yin Chang's hands. The final system summary rang loudly, echoing in Yin Chang's ears. A massive ghost energy reward, free stat points, and permanent residency rights in the scary world came through. The undead domain he unlocked gave him full control over all souls in the third hospital, to truly become its master. From then on, Yin Chang completely reorganized the hospital. He abolished the cruel rules set by He Yi, created safer quest boundaries for human players, making it no longer a death trap with 100% mortality. He held free clinics and healed countless ghosts suffering from illness. The name Undead Healer God became renowned across the entire scary world. By the consultation room window, Yin Chang looked at the fading clouds outside. Lena gently hugged him from behind, handing him a glass of warm red wine. Ghouls waited outside the door. Cooperation contracts from Count Rose and Zhang Ling lay quietly on his desk. Yin Chang gently swirled his wine, determination shining in his eyes. The third hospital was just his starting point. In the huge and terrifying world, endless secrets and unknowns still waited for him, and he would, as the undead healer god, heal departed souls with his skills, subdue the darkness with his authority, and in this world of fear, forge his own legendary path.